Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Land of Dreams and Nightmares. I am your Dungeon Master, Esper, and we have our full crew back with us for tonight's session. We'll do a quick recap, and then I'm curious to see what's going to happen tonight. So if you guys could please introduce yourselves, we'll do Adam, Dennis, Nick, Vince, Warsor. You're muted, Adam.
You're muted.
Adam.
Yeah, that was weird. Lagged a little bit for me. Anyway, yeah, I'm Adam, and am I better?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
You're good.
Cool. Yeah. Stream just did a funny thing for me. Anyway, I'm Adam, and as always, I'm playing Carderock Hawkness of Rockness, who's actually from Sumnerfield, the knightly bard paladin hybrid, who's a combined level of 9 at the moment.
Hey guys, I'm Dennis, and I play Lykar, the level 8 Storm Sorcerer.
Hello, I play Robin, the level 8 Arcane Trickster.
I'm Vince. I play Drake Fell, the Monk Rogue.
And I'm Warsor, and I play Captain Noxiqual, Hexblade Warlock.
So at the end of last session, we did a quick vote. Actually, we did a poll, really. And Lykar was voted to get inspiration. So you have that for this session. Make sure you use it this session. Last time we played, we began in the secret playground, though the party did a tactical retreat. So basically the entire session took place within the town of Ravenswold, which is where we've been for a few sessions. We're in an arc that has largely been featuring this area. A town on the borderlands of the winnowing hills and other wilderness outside the reaches of civilization. A bit of a strange town in some ways. Winter has descended in full force, and it's been snowing rather heavily. That did not stop the adventurers, though, from investigating around the town. And, well, Robin, I believe you had some interesting encounters, did you not?
Oh yes. Oh man, those vampire girls were absolutely fantastic. Yeah, no, oh, can you guys hear me? Oh,
yep.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Good. What was? Oh man, we went into the forgot the name of the
Flirt Fang.
The Flirt Fang. Yes,
Yeah.
we went into the Flirt Fang to sort of just try and get information. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. Drake and I went there because we were looking for the Thieves Guild, and we discovered that the Flirt Fang was a way to get into the Thieves Guild, and Drake sort of went down into like the basement area and found
Into the crypts, probably.
the crypts, and he found a sort of like an owl mask that lets you, I believe, see in the dark. Correct? Or
Something we're not quite sure what it does. All we know is that
something invisibility.
Yeah.
Sorry, not dark. Yeah.
However, it's not so much that he went down and found it, but he was escorted.
That's true. Yeah, he didn't like sneak down. Yeah, he was escorted by Madame Marmalade.
Celia Ravenswalled.
Celia. Sorry, I have my notes and like I just reorganized, so everything's in a weird.
Yeah, Lady Marmalade is the madam of the
Mermaid,
brothel in Grenadoa.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, but yeah. So Drake found this item, and he almost had a confrontation with a few of the vampires down there. Luckily, he was able to be like, "Yo, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to intimidate you at all." And they sort of let him go. And I, on the other hand, as Robin, I decided to enjoy myself here and had a bit of fun with Impala and Rosie, and it was quite an adventurous thing. I even brought them 2 of their favorite drinks, and I'm sure that they love me now. And I also met a half-elf Freya, who I am sure to partake in eventually. And now
You have designs on her for a later rendezvous.
yeah. And then we all
So
met
yeah,
up.
so the long story short is there's a brothel that seems to be inhabited by vampires, including some sort of undercroft where they have a group or organization. They seem to be in the possession of some items of wondrous power, including this mask of the ghost owl.
They also have an affiliation with the patron, the Queen of Ravens.
Yes, they indicated that they indeed had a patroness, the great shadowy queen. And they made you, actually, they kind of made the whole party an offer for one of you to take up a pact with the patroness. And in exchange, you would be given a nice credit with this organization. And they claimed there'd be some other benefits that would go along with it as well.
Apparently, the person would get lots of power too.
And along with a few extra strings.
Robin is very interested. I believe.
Yeah, Robin was interested. Some others were skeptical. And so they said to come back on the following evening and they would have a contract drawn up that would outline everything in clear terms.
And I believe that Robin was staying there for the night and everyone else was leaving, or
I don't trust Robin out of my sight. You've caused too much trouble in this town.
Noxiqual, Captain. I'm just trying to have a good time with Freya. I haven't had a chance to be with her yet. She didn't like the
By the look of your neck, you've already had plenty of good times.
Hey, it's okay to have more good times. Drake, why don't you join me?
If you have any more good times, you won't have the strength to return to the secret playground with us on the morrow.
You're probably right. That's why I'm going with Freya. She's a half-elf, not a vampire.
Don't spend the night here.
The fanged ones inside of the Flirt Fang brothel.
I'm sorry, what?
They're all vampires.
All of them appeared to be fanged
Oh,
inside that brothel.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I don't. As much as they may be allies for the moment, I don't trust them completely. I think we should keep ourselves close together in case something should happen. If you're off alone and something happens to you, none of us will be able to drag you back. As you were just saying to me the other night.
I'm gonna sort of look at Noxiqual and be like, Noxiqual, are you offering to come with me? Are we doing this together?
No, I'm telling you that we're going back to the tavern.
Fine, I'll go back to the tavern. But next time we come here, I'm going to have some fun with Freya. I promised her.
We shall see.
So it sounds like everyone is kind of waking up or maybe going to bed, actually, is what more like it sounds like. Everyone's kind of bedding down for the night at the Candle Lodge. So unless there's any dialogues or discussions that you feel are pertinent for this night, we can cut things to the next morning.
Sure.
I believe there are one or two pertinent matters for during the night.
That's fair. To be fair also, Esper, I guess when I level up, does anything change? We should discuss that as well.
So let's do that for Nox first, and then we'll go to Card, because I think the Nox thing is going to be pretty quick.
It's going to be quick, yeah.
Sure. So you are. Do you have a private room, or are you sharing with someone?
I don't
you and
remember how we.
I was with Card. I think.
You were with Card, and then Drake.
I think all three of you were together, right?
Okay.
Sure.
That sounds good. So you had a unrestful and unsettling night the following night. So you're not sure what is to come now. You feel that urge within your chest. You felt it before. Once you have accomplished sufficient feats, the masked one bestows upon you another measure of power as he can afford. As you are in a moment of personal contemplation, and you are perhaps gazing into the shadows, you feel that presence of the masked one, but it's faint. It's faint and it's wavering, as though it's these weak waves coming and receding. And you even hear his voice, but it's very indistinct. You feel that familiar sensation, again, as though you are attaining a greater state of prowess with your warlock abilities. But contact with your patron is, well, it's very tenebrous. It's very unstable. And you just hear little bits. It's hard to even make it out. Make a perception check. No. Intuition. Wisdom, intuition.
Really? His connection with the masked one is tenebrous. It's dark,
I
shadowy,
got
or
that.
obscure.
So, I'm sorry, what do you want me to add to this roll?
Intuition.
So just wisdom? Because I don't have an intuition skill.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. That's a 13.
Okay. You sense something is amiss,
Mhm.
and you've already caught bits before that he wants you to get out of this place. That's it. Nothing additional.
Got it. No, that's what I needed to hear, actually.
But instead of just typical, flood of power, it's more just like a trickle throughout the night.
Okay. I have some thoughts on that, but let's move it along and I'll come back to it.
All right, let's focus on Card for a moment. What's happening with him? He was in great agony.
All right. Sorry. This moment brought to you by so-called Vietnamese black tea from the Pennsylvania Dutch Spice and Tea Company. Anyway, so yes, Card right now being loosely defined as sometime in the middle of the night, is not doing what everybody saw him doing last time. He put on the face of being in pain and delirious when they looked, but while he is in greater pain than he's ever experienced, to be sure, he's, at the moment, sitting completely upright on the edge of the bed, no lights on in the room, all the shutters shuttered, staring off into the darkness, and sort of muttering to himself as in meditation. You out there, the one whom Orpheus showed me in my dreams. You other one, you one who wears the mask. What do you want of me? Why did you have me go after that thing? Did you not see what it did to me? I burned worse than that in the fire. I am as a fireplace poker. Ugh. What a strange thing for a human to be. Ugh. Show yourself to me. Reveal your purpose. Tell me what it is. What do you want? You know who I am. I believe you know an associate of mine, a business partner. Yes. So, if you've been here this whole time, what do you wish of me now? And why me? Why not your conduit?
Carderock, you peer into the darkness, you speak into the darkness. There is something like a voice, a faint and far off voice. It's really difficult to make it out. Make a religion check, but base it off of charisma, because this is not so much about knowledge of religious practice or dogma, but rather your own force of in invoking something divine here.
That's going to be a 22.
Ooh. Okay. There are two things that occur. The first is this wavering voice, and it's distant, it's faint, but there is one part where it manages to like just get a few words through, and it's just like, and when that time's come, I will gladly speak with you. You are certain that you contacted this masked one in this moment, but that's as much as he could get to you. There's a second occurrence, though.
Uh-huh.
You feel a calm sensation, a bit of, well, a soothing sensation, yes. And you hear a voice that is grandfatherly and encompassing. It's a cold, hard snow winter night, but there is a bit of a warmth, like in a comforting embrace. You have seen much these past few days. You call out into the darkness. You are seeking something more.
Do I recognize this voice?
You have been a religious fellow your entire life, have you not?
Indeed. Well, where it served his means anyway.
Mm-hmm. You are certain this is Morpheus, the god of dreams and healing, speaking to you from some far-off realm. But he is coming through much clearer than the masked one. But he seems to be asking you, you're searching for something, you're looking for something, you're calling out.
Yes. I'm looking for the one you showed me. You showed me two things in that dream. There was Fantak, always drunken in his revels, playing tricks, sending horrible black ichors to burn. And oh, they did burn. Have you not seen my burns? You are a god, are you not? And you showed me the one who wears the mask. Why would you show me the one who wears the mask? If not for he to be the one which I now seek.
I have a quick question. Is Robin in the room with him right now, or is this like happening before we got back?
I don't believe Robin's there. I think this is just strictly a personal moment with.
Yeah, this would be something he would have done alone. Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to check.
It'd be pretty weird if Robin were like trying to sleep and he just sat up and
Yeah,
started.
that's actually what I was about to do. I was gonna be like, bruh, Card, I'm trying to sleep here, please.
I thought Robin was with the cart driver.
Oh yeah, stealing beans.
Yeah.
Oh, am I still with the cart? I might be with the cart driver actually.
Yeah, I can't remember his name though.
No, I would have went back with you guys after I got the bean. I don't want him to think anything.
Right, well, let's continue here with this. Fantak. It is a sad day for him. His revels have led to tragedy, it seems. I wouldn't count on aid from him, at least not for a long time.
Well,
Yes.
that is not something you need to tell me twice.
As for the masked one, well, do not let me lead you astray into thinking that I am allied with him. However, you are allied with a great protege of his. There is probably value in knowledge as to what exactly is happening within your own traveling companions. If you would choose to come into my great and sweet embrace, I would heal your suffering.
Getting invited to go away and live with the gods, part 2. Let's see. He's going to ponder that for a moment. Say, I am a man of honor. I have sworn but 2 oaths of loyalty to the Lords Rodvin of Sumnerfield, and, well, to you. As well, I have forged business partnership with this one of whom you speak, this conduit of the one who wears the mask. If you would see me approach him or attempt to contact this masked one again, I would do so. I would not likely swear an oath, but if he and they are the ones to bring me the wealth and the fame which I seek, the means to construct a castle and to provide safety for my family. Ugh, terrible, terrible birds. Sorry, give me just a minute.
You honor me, Carderock. Though again, do not be misguided. I would warn you greatly when it comes to the Masked One. However, it is good that you look into the shadows. It is good to be aware and to have wisdom and to know what is around you than to deny or neglect or be blind to them. That would surely lead you towards downfall.
I would look into the shadows to see the light. As the great bard, yes, Matthias the Falconer once said, on burning wings you fly, under a dead horizon. The sun shines, but nevermore. You see the black moon rising.
Well, yes, there is night and there is day, and they are equally important, and I am a god of nocturnal spirits after all. I am gathering strength, regathering strength here in my temple, though it is not a certain thing as of yet. Luckily, there are those who have recently reclaimed my domain, but their hold is tenuous.
In my dream, I did see an army led by a funny-voiced dwarf. Yes. He was the one that told me about it.
I would not call it an army, but he has done much and more than many in a long time.
He was the one who told me of the Masked One's pawn, that he might be the way I would find my wealth and fame and make my way in this world.
First, you must find the inner peace that you are seeking, and then you will find the outer treasures. Come into my embrace, be soothed, be healed. Swear unto me your good graces, your sword, your bravery, and I will do all that I can to lead you towards the means and the resources that you require for the construction of your good family.
So just to be clear here, what exactly is he offering and or demanding? Like,
well,
physically,
so you already are a divinely sworn character. We have yet to see that Carderock is dedicated to any specific deity. He seems to kind of honor an entire pantheon, which is fine.
Well, he does have the holy symbol of Morpheus worked into the hilt of his sword, which was done so by the abbess that he, well, before she was that off and on romanced during his youth. So Morpheus, that was like the temple he was associated with.
Reaffirm your faith in Morpheus. Gather up your courage to defend his name, and surely this will set you on the right path.
And this is not mutually exclusive from trying to learn more about the Masked One, of course. Correct?
It does not seem to be mutually exclusive, though. It does seem to be a call, an opportunity to give tribute and honor and attention and focus to this one god, perhaps over others, but not to the absolute exclusion of others.
I see. Interesting.
And when he does say, "Step into my embrace," you do feel a wonderful, pleasant, and soothing sensation just right there beyond your grasp, at your very fingertips.
Well, then, yeah, knowing that that's the implication, he's definitely not going to disagree.
You step forward, at least metaphysically speaking, and you feel a great, pleasant, soothing sensation run all over you, like a warm bath of the most healing waters, and your pain subsides.
Well, now wasn't that a trip? Huh. I could get used to this feeling. It feels better than horrible things that burn.
Yes, there are some misbegotten things that should not be. I will be with you on these dark roads that you travel. Do not fear them. Have faith. When the moment comes, you will know which direction to step.
Oh, great God, Morpheus. Thank you for your boon. And if you do happen to see Fantak in your travails, do tell him to take that coursing black arsling that dropped out of his arsehole and burn it, shove it right the way back up there where it came.
Your anger is understandable. I don't believe anyone will be speaking to Fantak for quite some time. He has been discorporated entirely. Fantak has fallen in Bazagon.
Aha.
As has his faction, the oh my gosh, the carnival, the Vixfoy Carnival. It is no more.
Ah, Bazagon, great city to the south, the megatropolis, one of the many places I have never been as of yet.
Oh, I have a feeling one day you will see many wondrous locations, including fair Bazagon. Let's hope that it stays fair. She is in a very difficult time now.
Well, surely it shall be better than the dung heap covered in snow known as Ravenswold. This miserable place tires me. I tire of it.
It is
I do have a friend with a ship, you know. I could go anywhere.
Perhaps you should do that. A dark pall is cast over Ravenswold, and it is difficult to discern what exactly is afoot there.
Interesting.
With that, the presence of Morpheus fades, and you find yourself just falling into a deep and restful slumber. You have dreams of pleasant valleys with aromatic flowers, of blissful groves of wine and fruits, and fair folk.
That one makes a good
dwelling in
tea.
serenity.
This one is sung of in a song. This wine is simply divine. Oh, yes. If you tried it, you should. Yes. Yes. Who are you? Dwarf? No. No, I wouldn't like to stay and hear your entire family history. It is really quite enthralling. I have a tale to tell you about. No.
Does anyone else have any nighttime stuff? I guess something just came to me. So if no one has any ideas, I do have one final thing.
Go for it, Esper.
Robin, you hear tapping at the shutter.
Oh, do I?
Yes, you do.
Am I with Card right now, or am I? Because I know we were talking about like if I was with the other guy. I probably would have went back to the party though. I think so.
I think in one room we have Lykar, Warsor, Lykar, Noxiqual, and I think just those two. And I think the other room is Card, Robin, and Drake.
Well, Drake is with me too. Oh boy. Okay. So,
And I think Mateos is with Lykar and Nox.
Okay.
So there's this tapping at the shutter, tap, and you can hear the wind howling out there too. Like you can even feel the cold air kind of blowing in through the tiny little crack
I'm gonna go over to the window and sort of whisper and be like, "Etho, is that you?"
It's me! That's so cool! Woof.
Yeah, come in. I'm gonna open the window for him so I let him in.
You open the shutter, and like snow flutters in, and the raven does as well.
I'm gonna close it back so no more snow gets in.
He like tries to get the snowflakes out of his feathers.
I can't stay long.
Well, that's okay. What did you need? I didn't call for you.
Your friends, they seem skeptical about the gifts my mistress will be offering you.
I'm gonna sort of like look at. I'm assuming Card and Drake are probably asleep here, so I'm just gonna look at them being asleep and be like, "Yes, they seem to not want me to take on you or your mistress as my patron."
Oh, I think you should.
I think I should as well.
She has many, many great powers. She'll give you some, as much as you want, really. Just serve her.
Yes.
She will serve you.
Yes. Oh, well, if she would like to serve me, then I am perfectly fine with taking the powers. However, my captain has talked with me, and I do trust in his opinion, as he also has a patron himself. It appears that we do not know all of the stipulations with regard to taking on a patron, and I would not want to be
That's okay. You don't have to stay here forever.
All right. Well, how about this? Let me sleep on it, and I will discuss with my captain a bit more. I'm quite a convincing man. I'm sure I can talk him into letting me take on the patron.
Yes. Would you tell me yes? I will go and I will tell them to add in some more good stuff for you.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Actually, if we could get a bit more off for the mass that we're looking for, and as well as anything else that we may want.
Well, I'll see what I can do. They're working on the contract now.
Yes, that would be quite useful. The more that we get, the better, should I say. But again, I cannot promise that I'll take on the patron yet, but I may in the future, or at least perhaps tomorrow after I discuss it more with my comrades.
Okay, well, I guess that's the best we can get for now. I'll see you then tomorrow night.
Gonna sort of nod my head and open the window for him.
And we left town the following morning.
Just out of curiosity, did Drake hear any of this?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, did
Probably
they
so. You're an elf, so you trance, so you're not unconscious. Eartho flaps out into the snowy storm, and you probably shut the shutters before more snow billows in.
No. I'm gonna look at the at Card and Drake to see if they're like still asleep. I guess me also being a half elf, I guess I would assume that Drake may have heard it.
Drake's gonna crack open an eye and look straight at Robin. He's not gonna say anything, but he's gonna let him know that he heard.
I'm just gonna look back at him and be like, "What? I didn't take on the patron. I haven't broken any promises."
He's just gonna keep giving you that one eye stare.
I'm gonna look a little flustered and just sort of like turn away and like get in my own bed.
From where Drake's sitting and doing that, he's just like literally sitting in the center of the room meditating.
I'm gonna like get in my bed and then like I'm gonna like roll over where I'm not looking at Drake. I'm gonna roll back over and look at him and be like, it's probably more comfortable to be in a bed.
This one has slept on worse.
You may have slept on worse, but a bed is probably still better than the hardwood floor there, don't you think?
This one would agree to that, but this one is not looking to sleep.
I'm gonna turn around and just be like, elves.
This one wonders why you insult half your blood.
I turn around and be like, because the other half of my blood is very obnoxious because they decide to sleep on the hardwood floor instead of a bed.
This one thinks you should try meditating.
Perhaps one day when you know what? If you can convince Captain Noxiqual to let me take on this patron, I might meditate with you. Or maybe Captain Noxiqual will meditate with me because we'll both have patrons now. We can it'll be like something that we have in common. It'd be great.
This one does not think the deal itself is good to take. So this one will not try to talk the captain into it.
Well, what about, and I'm going to sort of actually get out of the bed this time and sort of like shake Carderock awake and be like, what about Cod? Cod, do you think I should take on the patron?
You what?
I would be like, what do you mean? Did you not? Oh, that's right. You probably didn't hear it. I might be getting a new patron with special.
By your own pair, Jam. It matters to me not.
I'm gonna look at Drake and be like, see, Cod agrees with me. He thinks I should take the patron.
Drake points over at Carderock and goes, "The dumb man doesn't even know what you are talking about."
I'm gonna be like, what do you mean? He's a paladin. He obviously knows what I'm talking about. He's a very intelligent man, as I'm sure you're aware.
That one was not with us when we talked before, and that one seems to be coming out of a deep slumber.
Birds sing, crickets chirp, frogs croak, deer bleat, goats bray, horses whinny, and the two of you incessantly go on and on about whatever manner of poppycock this is. All while I, burned terribly as I am, attempt to sleep for more than a wink or two. Of what do you speak, and of what concern is it to me? I pray tell me.
Are we gonna look at Drake with sort of just like this, like kind of like confused look, and be like, perhaps with that lovely lullaby, I should go to sleep. And I'm gonna walk over to my bed and go to sleep.
Drew's just going to close the one eye back up and go back to his meditation at this point.
I'll put my hand up. Good night, Cod.
The night passes. The next morning comes, and the snows continue to fall.
Mm.
There is a sheet of white, wintry blanket all over Ravenswold.
Does this snow seem natural, or is it like magical in some way?
Well, it seems natural. Do you have any other form of investigation measures that you'd like to use?
I'm trying to think if like a religion or an arcane. I feel like religion would probably be a better check, since it's
Maybe
like
Lykar, would he notice anything?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, is it like arcane or religious, or like is something going on?
Nothing is apparent that seems to strike you as out of the ordinary.
Okay.
It's winter in Dreckengrim. It snows.
Okay.
Sometimes it snows hard.
Okay.
How heavy is the snow coming down?
Very heavy.
So if I were
It's been snowing almost an entire day. It started like yesterday morning. So yeah, it's basically been snowing an entire day.
What about visibility? Like, what's the visibility?
Reduced. Yeah,
white out, or you can see decent.
It's reduced. It's not white out.
Okay.
I guess that like in the morning we'd probably, or at least I would probably go to Captain Noxiqual and tell him about the Raven visit and whatnot.
So this Raven came to you last night, did he?
Yes, he was quite insistent that I accept this patron, but I told him that that I wouldn't right now. Told him that I would convince you to let me do it.
Robin, why do you think it is that he is so eager to convince you to join them?
Because
to give you all this power. Why do you think that is?
Because I'm absolutely amazing at everything I do. Why wouldn't they want me?
Think harder. If you cannot figure this out, then I'm afraid that you're going to be in for a harsh surprise soon.
And just sort of like think about it a bit and be like, well, perhaps they want something from us as well. That could be it. Do you think it's gold that they want?
I think that if it was merely gold, then we would not be so heavily enticed into making this pact.
Yes, I do.
Once you have signed this pact, it is not something easily broken.
Yes, as someone of your, I'm assuming we're in private, by the way, when I talk about this. As someone who has a patron himself, I do respect your opinions on this. However, you do indeed have a patron yourself. It can't be all bad, correct?
My patron is very different from the thing that you would make a pact with. Every patron has their own goals, shall we say, and this patron's goals trouble me.
Well, I definitely do agree that something does seem a bit fishy here. However, how are we meant to acquire this mask that we need to see invisibility without taking on
We-
this contract?
We will see if they will renegotiate when they present us the contract. If they will not accept us simply doing a job for them in exchange for it, then I suggest that we find our own means of dealing with this and going back to the playground.
I sort of nod my head and say, well, perhaps we should go meet with them again for now, see if they've gotten the contract worked out. I actually forgot. Did they say it would take a day or did they say it would take longer?
Return in the evening.
Yeah, return tonight to
Okay.
Flirting.
All right. Just making
We'll
sure.
let the storm die down as well so that we won't be traveling in a storm.
I agree. Storms are not my likelihood. I'd rather sit in a nice, warm room with a nice lady next to me, preferably a vampire, because wow, you know what they say: once you've had a vampire, you never go back.
No one says that.
I say that, and I just said it right now. I'm
I
sure you
know.
would agree if you would join me. I mean, I would.
Unless
I
you are
would
more
even
than one
pay for
person, you're not a they.
I would even pay for you for one if you joined me. I think that you really need some relaxation. You're always so uptight.
I have no interest in these matters.
You're telling me that you do not have an interest in a beautiful, beautiful, absolutely beautiful vampire.
You are young and foolish still. Perhaps one day you'll mature.
Yes,
There are
and
many more things in this world than just a beautiful woman.
you're not wrong, but a beautiful woman is one of the many gems in this world. Or a beautiful man if you're a woman, or if you're a man, whatever anyone wants. I think we should all enjoy life to the fullest. And I'm sure that I will get you to join me one day. Perhaps we could add it to the contract. And I'm just going to start thinking about that a bit. Like, sort of go off and think about how to get Noxiqual involved in this.
I want everyone ready on the next morning, if the storm has abated, to return to the playground, whether we have this mask or not. If we sign this contract, that will change. But unless something changes with their offer, I foresee us not getting this.
Yeah, I have no intention of signing anything.
Mhm. I believe that my patron will provide for us, should we need anything further to deal with this playground.
This one would like to go and get a few warmer cloaks if possible.
Sounds like a good idea. I'll see you all this evening at the Fang.
Flirt thing.
Yes, the Flirt Fang.
Okay. So, Drake, you're heading out to a clothier, and everyone's getting themselves geared up, eating breakfast and such. Carderock, you feel much better, much better. Morpheus has soothed your pain and your wounds. You probably have some scars, though.
He also has some business to attend to.
Mhm.
He's going to write a letter. Assuming he saw somebody in town that's a courier or owns some pigeons or something. And he's going to write a letter to Jürgen Strauss, the near legendary smith who forged his sword, Joy. And he's going to requisition 2 coins to be cast, to be fitted into the round bit of the pommel. One for one side, which bears the holy symbol of Morpheus as a badge inside a symbol of a sun. And the other one, a symbol which he has seen upon Noxiqual's stuff, which he's interpreted to be the symbol of the masked one. And he's going to put that inside a badge of a moon. He's going to just like sketch that out real quick and then kind of fold it up. And as soon as he can find either a courier or a dovecote, he's going to go see where he can send that.
Mm-hmm. So the innkeep, Sandella, there at Candle Lodge, she receives your letter. Though I am not certain when we can get the next page sent out to deliver your correspondence here, but rest assured, just as soon as the weather abates, we will get this delivered as swiftly as possible.
Well, see that it is done, and there'll be payment in it for you. And if the seal is broken, people will die.
Oh. Well, I'm very concerned to hear that. Perhaps if you could furnish a additional coin that would ensure the most quality of service and care be given to this matter.
He'll do that thing where he takes the coin out and like places it like that and flicks it so it'll spin.
So you do your coin trick. She smiles pleasantly, receives your correspondence, and says, rest assured she'll and put this into good hands at the very first opportunity. There is then a shriek from the privy. Robin!
Oh my goodness, what's going on with me today? Robin has been getting
into to relieve yourself, and it just felt like you peed liquid fire.
Oh no! Oh boy, am I okay? Oh God, what is going on? I'm just gonna yell that at the top of my lungs. Is there anyone in the group that would have heard me? I guess Card did.
Probably the whole inn heard you.
Yeah, I'm gonna like sort of like get. I'm guessing the bathroom is like somewhere upstairs. I'm gonna like get out and sort of just like as I'm getting out, like I'm like buttoning up my pants and stuff, and I'm like running down to where Card is. And I'm gonna just sort of like grab Card by both of the arms and look him dead in the eye and be like, "Card, please heal me. I need help."
Not again.
I'm gonna say, "That's again, all right. I need help. It really hurt this time, a lot more than last time."
And he'll recite a little healing incantation and use some very minor amount of lay on hands. I don't actually. That would take a cure disease spell, wouldn't it?
Do you have that?
Does your ability cure diseases?
Let me really briefly look up the exact text of lay on hands, just so I can make sure.
As Card is like thinking about this, I'm just like constantly shaking him, like, "God, please."
What's all this ruckus about?
Gonna look up at Nox and be like, "Don't worry about it."
You did it again.
Drake's
what
gonna
again?
walk back in at this time with like a bundle of cloaks. This one.
Okay. So I have a pool of hit points of healing equal to my paladin level times 5. Alternatively, you can expend 5 hit points from your pool to cure the target of 1 disease or neutralize 1 poison affecting it.
Yeah, it's
So-
pretty good.
I'll spend 5 points from my lay on hands pool and
Now, where are you laying your hand?
No, actually, wait, where are you? I'm curious. Are you just doing it like on my chest or something?
probably on your forehead as if like kind of pushing you away a little bit at the same time.
As I see you going for the forehead, I'm gonna be like, wait, don't you? Should you? I mean, like, we don't have to talk, but like, I mean, this is where it's heading. Should you like? I don't. I'm not a paladin.
If you wouldn't like me to.
All right, fine. Just, you can touch my forehead. You can touch my forehead. It's okay, as long as it fixes me.
By the name of Morpheus, allow your dreams to see you rid of yet another of these.
And this,
Often you feel a pleasant tingling sensation run all the way down into your nethers, and you find relief in the moment.
Oh, and it's gonna be like, oh.
And may you not come back to me like this again too soon anyway.
I will try my best, my friend, but I must say, thank you. I don't know what I'd do without you around. I really appreciate it, as always.
I don't know what I'd do without you around either.
Yes, I know. I'm gonna actually
sleep a fair bit more.
indeed.
perhaps, but I'm gonna flip card a coin, like a gold coin. Be like, there you go. See, you help me, I help you, we help each other. I'm gonna look at Captain Noxiqual and see, my offer's still available. Hell, if something goes wrong,
If you finish that sentence, I will blast you from this place with all my power.
please don't. I was just healed. I don't feel like being healed again.
Yes. Good.
Carderock, make a medicine check.
Ooh.
Is this on me?
No, it's Adam. Or, well, maybe.
It is regarding you, yes.
As Card is like, I guess he's like sort of like just like staring at me now. I'm gonna be like, is something wrong, Card?
That's actually not wonderful. That's a 9.
Okay. So you have you gotten up close with him as you are working your healing wonder, and man, it just looks like this guy had a wild night with some very bitey girls.
Card, you there? Is anything wrong?
Oh, nothing is wrong.
Ah,
If you're a wild dog.
I am indeed a wild dog. I will never deny that. I really hope it doesn't hurt again.
Well, next time don't do it in a pile of rose bushes. They have thorns, you know.
True. But have you ever been with a vampire girl? They are wonderful, Card.
And apparently they make you scream like a girl that wakes up the entire tavern.
I'm gonna look at Noxiqual and be like, have you ever hurt in a place that's not meant to hurt? That's meant to feel joy and wonder. And have you ever hurt from that place before? It's not pleasant, my friend, my captain. It's not pleasant.
I'm more on the side of inflicting pain, but yes, I've suffered my own fair share.
You have suffered. I'm gonna look at Cardi and be like, he is promiscuous.
Drake, you have returned back inside.
Yeah, how much is that going to cost?
What did you want exactly?
He went and picked up a couple of winter cloaks for everybody. Pretty much an extra set if they already had one, or ones for who needed them, other than Robin.
Nice.
Drake and Robin kind of like a rivalry going on. Drake does not like Robin. He doesn't like his personality.
I like where this is going.
Drake, for 2 gold pieces per set. You
Okay,
can
so
get a nice set of warm, thick, well-made winter clothes.
2 gold each.
2 gold per set. They're very nicely made, nice, thick furs. Let's see, what kind of furs would be known in this type of area? Maybe fox or rabbit or something of that nature.
Wolf.
I was usually like handing out all these clothes to everyone. I'm gonna like go up to him like expectingly, like waiting for mine, and be like, "So Drake, what did you get me?"
This one did not think you needed any.
I'm gonna give you just like this glare of like anger.
This one thought you were taking the pack. This one thought the pack would help you.
I'm just gonna keep glaring at you. Perhaps the pack does have warm clothing involved, but I highly doubt that. I'll remember this next time I go and have some time with those vampires. I'll remember not to mention you. Well, I'll mention you, all right, but not in ways that you want to be mentioned.
This one does not care.
Lykar, do you have any particular interest in the goings-on here with your allies or outside of the inn?
Well, like I said, I was just curious if I could have tell if that excuse me, if this was a natural storm or unnatural, since you have some storm sorcerer.
Sure. You're pretty confident this is just a natural snowstorm.
Okay.
This happens. Dreckengrim's a fairly cold realm, especially during wintertime.
I mean, it doesn't affect him.
If you really want, you can make a skill check. You can cast detect magic. You can always do that.
Okay, well, the cold doesn't really affect him anyway, so I can walk around and the snow doesn't land on me.
Okay, so you go outside and you have, sort of a minor aura of wind or air control, and the snow just seems to ripple off and away from you. And you look about, you maybe touch it or taste it or whatever your persuasion is. Seems like natural snow to you.
Okay. I'm going to thank Drake for the nice worm cloak. Thanks, Drake.
As I see like Lykar sort of being able to walk out into the snow without it like hitting him and stuff, and he walks back, I'm gonna look at Lykar and be like, "Hey, Lykar, I can't help but notice that the snow doesn't really affect you. Would you mind if I had that fur coat, because it does affect me and I'm very cold." I'm gonna sort of give him these puppy dog eyes of like wanting to like get his coat.
I still get cold. Just because the rain and the wind and the snow doesn't hit me, it's still cold outside.
But it's not as cold because at least it's not hitting you. It's going to hit me. I mean, you saw what I tried to do last time. It was kind of effective, but not really. And I'm gonna sort of have my mage hand like whisper away again.
Perhaps you should spend your money on things more wisely.
Are you also telling me that beautiful vampire women are not something I should spend my money on? That it's not wise?
You spend your money on what you wish, but when you run out of money and you want something else, don't come to me.
Well, you are a magic user. Could you make me a coat? Is that possible? Is that something within your powers?
Yes, my magic sewing machine was left in the...
You have a magic sewing machine?
Yes.
It's back on the storm's eye.
I'm going to look at Noxiqual and be like, why was I not informed of this? I've always wanted a magic sewing machine.
No,
you should put that in the contract.
I'm going to look at Noxiqual and sort of like give him like can we? Like sort of like that eye.
We should.
So let's cut things to the scene tonight. Sound good, everyone?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so the Flirt Fang brothel is essentially down the road from the inn that you all are staying in. It's actually a pretty nice quality brothel, and as you've noticed, a lot of the areas of Ravenswold actually are pretty well kept. There's some seedy, rundown neighborhoods, but overall, for a small town, it seems like they are a fairly lucrative type of place. Probably something between their soldiers at the Ravens Fort confronting great danger, plus the crops they have and the other industries, seems to be bringing in a pretty good amount of money. The architecture here is beautiful, if kind of dark and gothic, and everything seems to have a what do you call it? People seem to have an inclination towards fine quality. So you return to Flirt Fang. Who all's going in? How are you going in? What's that look like?
I'll go in. I also want to clarify that the entire way to Flirt Fang, I'm complaining about the cold. I want it to be known.
Drake's just gonna constantly be looking at it, looks over when you first start and gives you this flat look like, he doesn't care and wants you just to shut up.
And I'm gonna look back at him like it is the most important conversation that I have ever had. I'm just gonna keep complaining the whole time.
You hear Lykar on the way mutter, I wish I'd have got that silence spell.
I was just checking my memory as well.
Is everybody entering inside of the brothel together?
I know I'm entering. I don't know about.
I look around outside just real quick, see if anyone's around, like watching.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check.
I think that's an unnatural 20. Let me just make sure. It went up by 1 when I leveled, so that's a 21. Yep. Because my... Yeah.
You look about. There is not a soul on the streets or anywhere that you can see on this dark, wintry night. The snow is still falling. Actually, the snow is just coming down, and the wind is blowing. It is just like bitter, and already the snow drifts are like almost up to like shoulder high. It is just like, if anything, it's gotten stronger.
As we're like outside of the brothel and like Noxiqual's just sort of like looking around, I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna be like this. You all might not be that cold, but I think I'm gonna go inside. I'm just gonna walk inside the brothel.
I'll follow along after.
Card, seeing as he hasn't been there yet, and they don't know his face, he's gonna draw the hood and kind of stand guard and pretend he's like some just hired muscle.
That's very smart to do.
I like it.
You enter within. It's furnished with dark stained wood. There are lanterns with red glass and black wrought iron embellishments and decorative bits that cast complex and artistically alluring light patterns throughout the place. There's a combination smell of wine, perfume, and a bit undertone of bodily sweat. You are all met by a woman. You've actually, Drake and Robin, you're familiar with her. Celia Ravenswalled, a willowy, tall woman nearing middle age, pale skin, long, dark black hair, is fond of nice jewelry. By her side is a girl who is also fair-skinned, freckled, deep red hair, curly, shapely girl. Her name is Rosie, and she's in a bit of a huff with Celia. Celia's trying to calm her down, and she sees you all walk in, and the madame welcomes you in. Now, Rosie, welcome, our guests of the hour.
Yes, hello. We thought we should stop by to discuss some things.
Yes, let's discuss that. Rosie, I'll have Granny look at it later. I'm sure you'll be fine. Rosie throws a smoldering glance at you, Robin. Is it flirty? Is it feisty? Is it mad? It's somewhere in between those.
I'm going to look back at her and give her a wink. And then I'm going to look at the madam. I'm going to be like, sort of whisper a little bit, be like, what? Looking at Rosie, like sort of like trying to figure out what's going on here.
Let's get to business.
Yes, we'll get that all taken care of. Don't you worry about it. So we were expecting you all. And some of my associates are waiting in the drawing room. If you all would just follow me this way, please. And she, glides gracefully through this corridor, leading you all back to that same side room that you had seen before. There is a wine cabinet. There are some cushioned couches, some chairs, a table. They've got a couple of nice lanterns glowing in there. Yep.
Noxiqual's just noting how far distances are. He's always prepared for like a little paranoid side of him. What if this is a trap?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're keeping your head on a swivel.
kind of more along the lines of counting the paces, like if I need to get out of here with a dimension door, where do I need to be?
Okay. So you're doing what you can to gauge your surroundings as you are moving through the interior of the brothel. It's no great distance at all. It's not the rooms and hallways and such aren't big at all. Pretty compact, as most buildings are. So inside of this meeting chamber, we have Celia Ravenswalled. We have Brea. She is a half elf. She's one of the girls that works here. There is also 2 men that are wearing nice looking cloaks, not matching cloaks, but they're wearing some nice looking cloaks and some nice big, the hats that have a lot of volume to the material, kind of a poofy hat made out of a velvety material. Don't believe you've seen either of these men before.
I'm assuming they also seem to be vampires, correct?
Everyone here does have that look about them.
Did Drake see them?
Pale-colored
before?
skin. When they talk, you'll notice the canine teeth are a bit longer and sharper.
Did Drake see them before? Because he did go down into the catacombs or whatever.
Not those 2 men, but you did see 3 men, and they are here as well. There's 3 kind of like tough-looking guys. Their clothing is actually not anything to speak of. It looks pretty worn and used. It's a winter clothing, but nothing elegant, nothing fancy. Three rough-looking guys.
As I noticed the 3 rough-looking guys, I sort of want first. I'm gonna give Noxiqual sort of like an eye, something might be like there's a potential for danger here, And then I'm gonna look at Madam Celia. I'm gonna be like, Madam, is there something wrong here? Do you not trust us?
Oh, I will explain. There is no cause for concern. This is an interest to everyone of our group. They all want to meet you, and they all want to see the outcome of tonight's dealings. I trust it will be beneficial to all parties involved.
Yes, I
would not
agree.
get your hopes up until we have discussed the exact terms.
Most definitely, and that is precisely the reason for this meeting. And I have prepared a contract that I think will solidify any of the questions and unknowns that might have given you prior misgivings. Please come inside. Would you care for something to drink? You notice some of them are drinking wine, and she offers to get you all some wine.
Noxiqual just doesn't. No.
I sort of nod my head and smile and want some wine.
Okay, so she gives you a cup. Anyone else?
I say no, thank you.
Okay.
Drake's gonna wave it off, and then we kind of stand by the door.
Okay.
I lean back, like in a very relaxed posture.
Mm-hmm.
As I get the wine though, before I start drinking it, it does appear to just be wine, correct?
Red wine.
Because it doesn't seem like it's enchanted or poisoned or anything like that. I'm asking because of those three big guys.
With your poison and the enchantment sense.
Yes.
Well, I mean, you give it a bit of a whiff and you certainly taste it when you're drinking it. Nothing strikes you as out of place. Okay. The 3 rougher guys, they're kind of bantering amongst themselves. They have a bit of their dialect is not an educated type. Drake, since you're there by the door, you hear from outside the room, down the hall, you hear some creaking on the footsteps, and you hear an older woman's voice now, don't worry, I'll come and take a look at it. Just, I'm coming. So you hear something going on back there. So, I would like to formally introduce ourselves, and we would like to have the pleasure of you all introducing yourselves. We are the Blackfeather Coven, a long-running organization of special interests here in Ravenswold. I, as you all probably have heard, am the madame of this fine establishment. I am Celia Ravensong. We have here Brea. She is one of the veteran ladies who is very skilled in the arts of seduction and pleasure. This here is, and she's now pointing to the two men wearing the fine hats and cloaks, is Axel Grimtongue and Stamenyor Ishka. They give you some pleasantries. It is good to meet you. And she says, she's pointing now to the three thuggy-looking guys. Well, they go by Scabs, Lobby, and Troll. They just kind of grunt and take a swig off of their wine cups.
Drake's going to give him a respectful nod to show that he recognizes them as people.
Oh, look! It's the elf.
That's exactly what I thought too.
So do you all introduce yourselves?
Now,
Sure.
I introduce myself like as we're going in, and as we sit down, I sort of like offer if Brea wants to like sit with me at all.
Brea gives you this look like,
Oh.
As she does that, I'm gonna sort of like shine a few pieces of silver.
Oh, God.
Might take more than that to get me cured.
I'm gonna pull out a gold piece.
All right. Aside from his seducing with money by paying them, looking around, there's no one else here that hasn't been introduced aside from us. Yes.
Correct.
Okay. That we can see.
Correct.
I did not think that our deal and bargain warranted such a gathering of this whole coven, but very well.
We have other members as well, but these are some of the most distinguished and tenured members, and we are glad to meet your acquaintance. Would you all please introduce yourselves?
Aye. As I am the captain, it only makes sense for me to go first, and then my crew can introduce themselves. I am Captain Noxiqual of the Storm's Eye.
Yes.
Some of the people, like they, say something to each other, and the guy who was named Lobby, who he appears to be missing one hand, he looks at you, and he's like,
Did I serve on board your ship some years past? Noxiqual?
I know not. Were you on the Storm's Eye?
Helped me tar her one time when she was in port in Grenadoa. Good ship you got.
Indeed. Drake, Lykar. A motion to you both.
This one is Drake, though. Drake gives a small bow as a sign of respect before once again leaning back up against the wall.
Lykar.
Sure. He goes up, gives a nice, respectful bow. Greetings. My name is Lykar. I am a fellow traveler on the Storm's Eye.
I'm gonna sort of like after they introduce, I'm just gonna sort of like take my cup and be very like, no bowing, nothing like that. Just very like, what's the word? Energetic,
Obnoxious.
I guess.
Grandiose.
Grandiose, yeah, thank you. That's the word, yeah, grandiose, and sort of take a swig of it. And he's like, and I am Robin, the best member on the crew. And I'm gonna sit back down and drink more of my wine.
I don't make any mention of Carderock. If he wants to introduce himself, he can, but he's playing it up, I think, as kind of the nameless, mysterious figure.
He's not here though. I thought he was outside.
Oh, he might be outside. I don't remember.
I thought he was outside too, but We could roll with it being like if he's just sort of standing near the back of you, whichever makes sense.
I'd
Your
like
choice.
for you to be
choice.
here with us, but it is your choice.
You can just be standing kind of in the back of the room near the door then.
Okay.
I'll just say,
I'm
Sounds
gonna-
like you and Drake are by the door.
yeah.
When he sort of grunts, I'm gonna sort of like motion and be like, he doesn't talk much.
Oh, well, we are happy to make your acquaintance, you great and mighty Stormbringers.
You've heard of
So, you all, this one in particular, Drake Fell, expressed great interest in a relic that we have had in our possession for some time. It is a powerful and precious magic item known as the Mask of the Ghost Owl. Whosoever attunes to this and wears it over the eyes will have the vision of an owl being able to see through darkness. Now, some of you are of elven blood and already have such capabilities, but rest assured it will be even farther extended as the owl does see through the dark of night. Additionally, and most importantly, you will be able to see whoever is cloaked with invisibility. You will even be able to see the spirits of the beyond, those that traverse the ethereal. So, now that I have explained the particulars of the item and you all are aware of why it is so valuable, please allow me to explain to you the terms of the contract. We have spoken amongst ourselves, as well as consulted our gracious queen. Do bear in mind that in the contract, she will be addressed by her true name, and we would ask that you show utmost respect, as this is not something that is uttered aloud lightly. Thank you. She draws from one of the voluminous sleeves of her gown a piece of parchment, not a large one, but she unfurls it to about this size. It has some pretty nice script written on it. I'm going to share it, but I'll also read it out loud here for you all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so please tell me if you'd like this to be bigger.
No, I think it looks great.
Okay.
Great to me.
With this contract, the to-be-mentioned protege, this is a single person she's talking about, whoever gets filled in. With this contract, the to-be-mentioned protege hereby enters into a pact with our great queen from beyond, whose mighty and true name is Glacia, hereby known as Patroness. Upon agreeing to and signing this contract, the protege is bound to his agreed obligations and parameters as described below, and shall simultaneously receive the stated benefits. Now, should the protege breach this contract, he shall be subject to reprimand, according to the severity of the infraction, and as governed by the laws of our Queen's sovereign domain. Minor offenses, such as delays or mere negligence, shall result in the protege owing tribute of equivalent value to the patroness, mediated by her retainers, that would be us. Major offenses, things as vile as treason or episcopicide, shall result in the protege being taken into custody of the patroness. The immediate obligations, the protege, along with allies of his choosing, shall abduct one Jeffinius Colwick, and as we all know him, Slick Jeffy, and deliver him alive and unbroken to the Black Feather Coven. This abduction shall be executed without the revealing or leaving of evidence connecting or incriminating any of the Black Feather Coven members to the act or reasons for the act. In other words, discretion is paramount. Future obligations, the patroness shall convey further tasks to the protege as are appropriate for his given circumstance and capabilities. While the details of said tasks, of course, will just be determined on a case-by-case basis, they shall fall within the standard framework of a patron-warlock relation. The benefits, this is the part you all are most interested in. The protege shall receive an immediate credit in the sum of 2,000 gold pieces with the Blackfeather Coven. And just to remind you all, the Mask of the Ghost Owl does have a value of 4,000 gold pieces, and that is a firm value. Irtho the Watchful shall accompany the protege during the abduction, and henceforth, whenever it is possible, utilizing his scouting abilities, his secret knowledge, and all abilities at his disposal. Yes, he is taken quite a liking, especially to you, Robin. The protege shall receive the power of casting Eldritch Blast and one additional Warlock cantrip of his choosing. Additionally, he shall receive the power of one Warlock spell of the first rank, with the ability to call upon it once per day. And last but certainly not least, at the protege's option, he may receive a Warlock power transference through a rite held by the Blackfeather Coven. This shall be signed by the agreed upon parties under the laws of the Pact Primeval.
I'm gonna look at Noxiqual and be like, I like it.
Just for clarification, in meta terms, this power transference right would essentially let you, well, not essentially, it would let you trade any of your levels for Warlock levels. You don't have to, but you can.
Makes sense.
Whether or not you opt for that, you get the 2,000 gold credit. The Raven Irtho is going to now be a ally. And you'll get, whoever the protege is, I'm assuming it's Robin, you will get Eldritch Blast, an additional Warlock cantrip, and a once per day first level Warlock spell that you can call upon.
And out of game. So the future obligations are just like, if the patron basically asks the protege to do something, they would have to do it.
Yes. So, of course, it's impossible to know what the future holds, but the language indicates that they're going to be taking into account where you are in the world and what you're currently burdened with and what your capabilities are.
So it wouldn't be like they
in other
wouldn't.
words,
Like
it doesn't seem like if you're in the middle of a pressing matter, suddenly your patroness is going to be like, "Now go fight the Kraken on the other side of the world."
No.
That doesn't make any sense.
Does it also seem as though like the patron's not going to ask the patron or the person to sort of do something that would harm their allies, or is that not?
There's no language in here that says that.
Yeah.
Here's my question to
Okay,
Esper.
Well, that is a really good question that Robin posed.
Mhm.
So let's say Robin expresses that out loud.
Yeah, I probably would. Yeah, I'd ask about that.
And
yeah.
so Celia says, well, I certainly don't want to leave you with such terrible misgivings. I had assumed that such a vile act would never be asked of you, but if you would rest easier, I shall hear in the presence and witness of all the Blackfeather Coven in your own party, add an additional clause that indeed none of your future obligations shall involve you harming or attacking your own allies.
Yeah. Esper, I gotta know this out of game.
Yep.
Do I know this entity by name, the true name? Does that ring any bells?
You can certainly make a knowledge check.
Would this be knowledge arcana? Or
Make a knowledge religion check.
religion? Not my
Would
best,
Drake,
but
would Drake recognize this name as well, or no?
You can certainly make the same knowledge religion check.
I got a 13.
No, that is not a good one. I got a 3.
Neither of you have heard this name before, and that doesn't surprise you at all. They said it was the true name of their patroness, a secretive and powerful thing.
What were the things again that happen if you don't follow the patron? Like, what were the consequences? Sorry, out of game. Like I think it said it in the contract. Right?
Scroll up just a little bit, Esper.
Yes, indeed. So it basically said a minor offense will require you to pay tribute, maybe a fee or a fine or something like that. of equivalent value of whatever it was that you goofed up or like ruined due to negligence.
Okay.
Uh,
And the other one was
the major offenses, which they've given as examples here, treason or essentially murdering one of the priests of the Black Feather Coven, shall result in the patroness taking you into her direct custody.
I'm
In other
gonna
words,
ask,
go to jail. Do not pass go.
I'm gonna ask and be like, as for the treason or the episcocide, I believe that we have indeed clarified that the patron will not ask for me to, or the protege, sorry, excuse me, for the protege to commit any acts of harm or aggression towards their comrades or allies. However, what would happen what if you all, the Black Coven, decided to attack us? I believe I have the right to defend myself, correct? And if one of you happened to die, which would obviously be horrible, but just as a hypothetical, I would not want to be taken into custody for defending myself.
Well, I would be appalled at such a terrible act ever occurring. But let us assume hypothetically that Scabs over there one day got belligerently drunk and assaulted you, and you defended yourself. And in doing so, you bested him so severely that he fell dead. Well, I think that would be a matter of self-defense. You would probably have to go through a trial, but it would be a trial by fair law, and any person here that would have witnessed it would know that you were simply defending yourself, and it was his own drunken foolishness that got himself killed. So
I believe
worry not.
I believe that is quite fair. I'm going to look at Noxiqual and say, Noxiqual, Captain, I know that we have discussed this before in private. However, after seeing the contract and seeing some of the benefits, I do not see a reason as to why I should not take on this patron, perhaps. It does not appear that it will do at least our allies any harm, and at the worst, we would have to perform perhaps, or not even we, I would have to perform a task perhaps, but the task does not seem as though it would harm our party in any way, nor would it get involved in any issues if we are doing something major or are in our own area. Do not see any downside to this per se.
You don't see any downside because the language of this contract is very specific on the benefits and the immediate obligations, but the future obligations and the consequences are all veiled with vagueness. And while they may seem minor or just glossed over, you cannot simply accept this without any sort of thought to it. I have grave misgivings about this. Your patron is not known to me, even though you have spoken their name here, and I show respect to them as this is their place of power. But such a contract is an open-ended future for simply a mask, well, not even the mask, simply money in doing you a job. You are then putting this obligation, this extra thing on us.
Perhaps,
Is there no way that we can simply come to an arrangement to do the job without the patron contract?
So, Noxiqual puts a good question out there. Robin, do you have anything to add to that, or because the members of the Coven, they'll probably want to talk to themselves because that's a very different. That'd be a very different agreement.
I will add. I'll say, my friends, Madam Celia, this offer quite intrigues me, and if it were simply up to me, I would have taken it by now. However, I do respect the opinions of not only my captain, but my comrades as well. And they do have a say in this, as I would never want to inconvenience them in such a matter as of this. I would happily inconvenience them in other ways, but this is more serious. I'm gonna say, perhaps you could tell us more after you discuss with your compatriots, as I'm sure you will. You could tell us more about these future obligations. Give us more specific details, perhaps, if possible. But again, that's just what I have to say on the matter.
Kind of defeats the purpose of what they're looking
Yeah.
for here. They want an open-ended contract where you, protege, you have to either be in it or out.
Yes, I agree. Well, perhaps if we cannot learn more about the future obligations, we could perhaps come to a better agreement, like my captain has suggested.
Well, please allow us a moment to consult amongst ourselves, as this is a very different proposition.
I thought I made this clear last night when I spoke, but perhaps that was not so. I apologize for any confusion on the matter.
No need for apologies, good captain. Just give us a few moments' time, and we'll call you right back into the room forthwith.
Very well. Please take your time.
Do they all sort of like leave us alone as well?
So they, they politely ask you to step out of the room. They shut the door, and they're consulting amongst themselves for a few minutes.
Before they do that, could I ask them like if we could also have like a private area that we could also discuss some things as well, like while they're discussing?
Yeah, Brea will take you like upstairs to one of the rooms. It'll be a little cramped with all you guys in it, but it's fine.
Okay. When we're up there, I actually want to look at Card. I'm gonna say, Card, you are a holy man of some sorts. What do you make of this patron, or patroness, should I say? Does she seem, obviously being a warlock, she's not going to be good per se, but does she appear to be nefarious? Someone that would look to harm us in any way, or even the patron themselves? Or does she appear to be maybe more benevolent, such as perhaps Noxiqual's patron?
Why are you getting my name wrong? That ain't my name. I am half-dwarven warrior. My name's Kivish. Yeah.
Kivish, that name, for some reason that name sounds quite familiar.
I know that guy.
This one knows the one known as Kivish.
Common dwarven name.
Well, Kivish, what do you make of this patroness? Excuse me.
Leans really close. Just between you and me, sounds like bullshit.
Someone else is calling it.
So elegant.
I sort of nod my head, and then I look at Noxiqual. So, Noxiqual, your patron asks you for future obligations, I'm sure. Asks you to do things.
Actually, my patron has only asked really two things of me in recent times. He has asked me to reforge the sword Sombras, and recently to recover something for him.
Yeah, so it appears that patrons these future obligations seem to be just inherent with a patron. It doesn't seem like it's anything nefarious. I don't understand why.
So long as you and your patron walk the same road, share the same interests. My concern is this patron you are getting into bed with is not one that you know. You don't know anything about them. Only what you have been told.
I do know a little bit about them. That raven did help me out of a sticky situation, and I even gained some gold from it. It appears that it does kind of go with my interests, Noxiqual.
This
That
one, the
raven.
wonders.
If you think that raven saved you, and that we could not have dealt with that situation, well...
I do believe that we may have been able to deal with the situation by ourselves, but the raven definitively provided assistance and only asked for me to give him some of my spoils of war, to say the least. And the raven also becomes our ally. It could be a massive benefit to us.
Listen to me. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. I'm not going to babysit you and hold your hand and show you the path ahead. Only you can decide. But don't be so fucking naive. You really think that power is just something that someone offers you just because they want you to become part of their family, part of them? No, they want you to serve them. They want you to go out into the world and spread the name and spread her influence beyond this Ravenswold. I know that they may be listening to me right now. I suspect they are, but I will say this and only this. This place I have grave misgivings about. This deal, if you take it on yourself, you will be taking it on yourself. I will have no part of it. That is all I will say.
I'm just gonna sort of nod my head in silence and like contemplation.
Out of game, I just want to let you know, I'm not going to block you, man. I understand, like, if you want to do your thing.
No,
I don't want to be like,
Yeah.
no, you can't do this because my character said you can't.
No, I know. I was just, it's roleplay, separate.
Sad
Yeah,
to say,
absolutely. Yeah. But Robin is just gonna sort of like take Noxiqual's words, just sort of like think about them as we wait for Madame Celia, unless anyone else wanted to say anything.
Drake's gonna actually pipe in a bit. This one has also dealt with false gods for corruption. This one's home temple no longer follows its original goals. This one's left to get away and to find the right teachings once more. This Galacia will ask much of you, more than you think. Perhaps to the point where you're no longer yourself.
I would definitely, even if you intended to take this, take much more time than simply signing a bargain in a night. This deal that they're making seems to be helping us so much, but I think it's going to benefit them far, far more because you don't understand the whole scope.
Yes, perhaps. I do believe deals that are made in dark alleys generally benefit one side slightly more than the other. However, we cannot deny that it is indeed benefiting us in some way, even if that is lesser than benefiting them.
There's a knock at the chamber door.
I'll say this, I have faith in my companions. Whether we make this deal or not, we'll get through.
I agree. I'll wait for the door, I guess.
Drake's gonna open the door.
Okay, you see on the other side there is Freya, the half elf. If you'd like to return, we are ready in the room.
Drake's gonna look back to the party and to get you go or no go from everybody.
I would also like it. Does Brea's does she seem like does her mannerisms and the way that she's speaking seem as though like tension has changed or like something something has changed in this setting? Like does it appear like okay.
No, she seems the same.
Do we notice like all the bards taking out crossbows? No.
Yeah. just
Has the reins of Casimir got blamed somewhere?
What's that?
Peek over Brea's shoulder.
The red brothel.
I think they really want us to make that deal, Noxiqual.
Let's follow her.
All right, Drake's going to nod and make a gesture to let her lead on.
Right, she escorts you back down to the meeting chamber, where the Black Feather Coven have refilled their wine cups. They offer you all wine once again.
I will take some more wine.
Yeah. Thank you all very much for giving us a moment because, that was a bit of an unexpected question that you all put to us, but a fair question nonetheless. First and foremost, I do want to be clear that we cannot allow the Mask of the Ghost Owl to go into hands of those outside of our organization. It's a precious item that we've had for a long time. We have even made usage of it in the past when we had to fight against allies. And we had to fight against foes. Dark Fae. Those who dwell on the border between the Shadowfell and the Feywild. That is why it is crucial to us that it remains within our own immediate connections. Even if you take it up yourself, it's not going to be here in Ravenswold. We understand that you all are adventurers.
Would we not prove our loyalty by taking out this slick Jeffy of yours?
Let's get to that topic in just one moment, and because that is a bit of a separate item, I think.
Indeed.
Robin, your captain, the fearsome Noxiqual, he is committed to a different patron. You might have seen such similar tensions arise in before when you see people of different religions, those that follow different gods. It can be difficult to reconcile how two different perspectives can coexist. But you must ask yourself, is the patron of Noxiqual your patron? Is it the right one for you personally? Or would our great queen and patroness here be more aligned with your own personal goals and temperament?
Would you mind if I'm going to sort of interrupt now. Would you mind if I ask what are her goals and her ideals exactly?
Yes, a very good question. So, as it would seem, we find ourselves here on the razor's edge. We are at the last tracks of civilization. We stand against the darkness, against the great shadow, against chaos, against the unknown. Our lady is a lady of fate, of order, of law. Oh yes, of law, that which is the bulwark, the bastion against the chaos. She would have you make usage of your singular talents and your bravery to combat mutual foes. And by mutual, I mean those that are her foes and as well your own. She is also quite interested in the imprisonment of those who have done wrong, those who have corrupted society, those that have weakened its foundation, those who sow the seeds of disorder and chaos. There are twisted spirits, demonic forces in the world. She seeks to bring them to justice, to see them thrust into the prisons where they belong, to be banished to, not to be infinitely reincarnated in their bloodlust and unsatiable carnage. Your specific function would be much the same as it is now. Scout, magician, silver-tongued one, and perhaps a sort of vigilante who brings into custody, brings into justice those dark, chaotic, and demonic souls.
Would these bringing in these dark and demonic, chaotic souls, I say this as I look at Noxiqual, I say, I'm just looking at you, and I'm going to say, are you one of these souls, Noxiqual?
You ask me, am I one of them?
Oh, surely not.
I may have dealings with many beings from planes beyond this world. Perhaps even ones that would not please this patron.
Madam, I am quite intrigued, as I have said previously.
As you should be. The
However,
patroness has great vaults, richly stocked, and you will be rewarded for services rendered.
however,
Do
I would
not be put off by the unknown. It is impossible for us or for anyone to know what exactly future tasks may have in store. That is the life of an adventurer. That is life, period. Do not worry. You will be under tradition and law and great consideration with us.
I would only caution you, Robin, if this is your path. Give yourself an exit if you must, to have a choice at some point in the future. And future choice, perhaps. Stay with her for a limited amount of time that you must stay with her for at least a year and a day, or 3 years, 5 years. Give yourself a period to reflect upon so that you might come to know what she is about. And then if you feel that your paths do not intersect in the future, you can leave without any repercussions.
I sort
Does that
of
not sound reasonable?
I sort of look to Madam with sort of like questioning eyes and say, I believe that Noxiqual's words do indeed sound quite reasonable. Is there a way to have an exit path, assuming that our ideals do not entirely fall in line?
Doesn't have to be a number of time. It could be a number of tasks that you must complete at least this many. And then if you no longer feel that your paths are beneficial to each other, you can end it without any repercussion.
I sort of put my hands up, saying, does this sound like something reasonable, madam?
I'm sure she wouldn't want a mindless slave. She would want a devoted.
loyal knight.
They all give each other some looks, and they seem to be considering this idea of a time parameter, right? A length of the contract.
Yeah, as they're like looking at each other, I'm gonna also chime in and be like, to add on to Noxiqual, you wouldn't want someone to just go against your ideals and then having to hunt me down constantly, especially with the kind of power
Following
that
the
we have.
letter, not the spirit.
Yes, exactly. You wouldn't want that, no, would you? And don't get me wrong, it appears that she does fall under my ideals in many ways, and I do much enjoy it, but just in the off chance that this does not happen. And perhaps I could even perhaps pay something or return something to get out of the contract as well, just as a possibility.
Mm-hmm. She spreads out the contract on the small drawing table there, consults with a couple of the other individuals, does some writing with a quill. She comes back with a contract that has two addendums. The first one is what she already promised to you. It specifically states that you will never be asked to attack your own allies here. And the other addendum says this contract, it says after a period of 6 years, you're going to meet back with the Black Feather Coven. And they will consult with you as to either renewing the contract or it being finished. If you decide that it's finished and you don't want to renew it, you will have to return the mask of the ghost owl, and they will compensate you the value of it.
So after a year.
6 years.
Oh, 6 years. Sorry, I didn't catch that.
It does seem rather reasonable. They stated that they wouldn't let the mask be without.
Yeah. I'm gonna look at them and say, I do like these new terms. However, and again, I'm sorry for adding all of the stipulations, but we are in a discussion here as fellow allies and friends. I would like to
apologize. I am glad to be able to clarify and set you more at ease and help you decide better.
Yes, I would like to add 2 things. for this. The first being the Raven. In the contract, it states that he will be our ally, correct?
Indeed, as is capable. He is not a great warrior, but he will serve you when he has capabilities of his own.
Of course. I would like it to be perhaps stated in the contract that not only he will be our ally, but he will listen to my commands as I say them, assuming they do not go against the Coven, of course, or things of that nature, or our patron. So he would listen to my commands, just in case something perhaps he does not agree with, but I agree with. And then after my commands, of course, my captain's commands. Secondly, because I would not want this Raven to ever harm us or our allies or go against our wishes in any way. And I think that is fair. My second stipulation. Since I would be signing away essentially my soul to some patroness that I've just heard of within the past few days, we want that mask. We don't want to pay for that mask because 2,000 gold is quite expensive. And I believe it is quite reasonable if I am selling my soul to you or to the patroness that we at least get some compensation for this mask, or at least make it much less expensive. Not 2,000 gold pieces. It's too much.
The first clause I can agree to. And she writes it in there that while Irtho still has his own free will, you are his commander.
Okay.
And then the other one, you basically say you don't want the mask for a mere 2,000 gold.
Mm-hmm.
You want it flat out.
We want it. Like, we need it, you know.
Flat out.
And of course, I do want to clarify that when I'm doing this is still like more in a discussion manner, not like I'm demanding it. Sort of like I'm discussing this with her, you know. Just being I'm trying to be very persuasive with it, with like sort of how I'm saying these things.
Make a persuasion check.
Yes, I'm good at this. Please don't roll a natural one, Robin. This is the only thing I have. Please. Oh, that's so good. That's an 18 plus. I'm proficient times 2 because expertise 6, and then persuasion is charisma, right?
Yes.
Oh, this is really high. This is 20. This is 20. 22. This is 28.
28. Oh my gosh.
I'm really good at this, Esper.
Uh-huh.
I specifically went with expertise and persuasion.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's really, really high. Do you all have a magic item you could offer in barter?
Hold on 1 second. Let me look at my items real fast. Oh, I have a beanie. Oh, I don't want to do my beanie away. I'm gonna look at everyone and sort of just see if they have anything as well. Yeah, I'm gonna say, do we have anything perhaps? I mean, the item they have is quite valuable. I believe Vada is perhaps
I believe
acceptable.
that this item would only be usable by you, by their stipulations.
But I am an ally of you, my dear captain. I'm gonna sort of give you a very polite bow.
I have no spare items for this purpose at the moment.
I'm gonna look at her. I'm gonna
Do
say,
you pull out the magic bean?
no. I'm gonna look at her before I pull up the. I may have to, but before I'm gonna look at her. I'm gonna say, perhaps. And I'm gonna reach into my bag. I'm gonna pull out my 5 Umberholt claws and my 3 Fey toadstones. I'm gonna say, what about these? We recently defeated a mighty beast, an Umberhulk, nonetheless. These are the claws.
Well, undoubtedly, Granny could use those as reagents in her stews. But I was thinking more something along the lines of an actual magical item.
You're gonna make me give my bean away.
What's that?
Not your bean.
What is this? You have a magic bean?
I do indeed. I have procured myself a magic bean. By the way, this is this is the first time you guys know about this. I haven't told any of the characters about this yet. I'm gonna pull out
I
the
know.
bean. I'm gonna pull out the bean and be like, I have taken this bean. I'm gonna look at everyone else. I don't know exactly what it does, and I'd rather not give this away, as I kind of wanted to find out myself. But I do have this.
May I look at that?
So would you give it back, and then I'll pop it in
Yes,
your hand.
yes. Okay, so she takes a look at this, and she mumbles some arcane words under her breath, detect magic.
Mm-hmm.
So you now know she's got some kind of spell casting.
Yeah.
I will accept this. The mask shall be
Oh
yours.
my god.
I'm gonna look at her. I'm gonna be like, you quite seem to like that bean, don't you? I'm gonna put my hand back out for her to hand it back to me since the discussions are not over yet.
Okay, she gingerly places it into your palm.
I'm gonna put it back in my bag. I'm gonna look at the rest of the party. I'm gonna say,
Noxiqual is glaring at you with his one good eye.
I'm gonna say, I know that we need this mask, my friends. However, I don't think I want to get rid of this bean. She seems to, well, excuse me, the madam seems to quite like it, and seems as though it might be quite powerful. I
Do you
think
have
that
nothing else that you'd willingly sacrifice?
nothing magical, but I'm sure that, and I look at Lykar, our sorcerer friend may. And perhaps if he gave you the barter, perhaps he could use the mask.
Perhaps you could give Lykar 2,000 gold.
I'm gonna look back and I'm gonna be like, if only I had 2,000 gold. Perhaps listen, I do not think we will purchase the mask, and I do not want to give my bean away. Perhaps I could just receive the 1,000 gold pieces, and then we will have a deal. And I'm gonna put my hand out to shake.
1,000? You mean 2,000?
Well, no, because the 2,000 was for credit. I just want the straight 1,000. Yeah.
I didn't quite understand what you just said there.
Oh, sorry. So basically, I'm asking I'm basically saying I don't want to give the bean up. I'd be happy to give the Umberholt claws and the Fey Toad souls away.
Okay.
I don't want to give the bean up, and I'm asking that since I'm not giving the bean up, and it doesn't appear that our party is going to purchase the mask, that I will just take 1,000 gold pieces like hard currency instead of store credit of 2,000 gold.
She says, I'll take those reagents, and we will sell you the mask for 1,000 gold pieces.
I'm going to look at Noxiqual and everyone else to see if that's a reasonable thing.
Drake's gonna shake his head.
But you have to sign the paper to get it for that price, right?
Yes, I
Yeah.
would be signing it as.
I am not for anything that involves that. That's your choice. I will not contribute to it.
I
don't
look at her.
need this mask as much as you seem to.
I look at her and I go, unfortunately, madam, I do not have 1,000 gold pieces. I am close, but not there yet. Perhaps I will give you the Umberholt claws, the Fey toadstools, and perhaps you will give me, say, 700 gold pieces in return. And then, of course, my everlasting soul to this patroness of yours, and I'm going to take a drink of my wine.
Well,
I will take the reagents, and we will strike the bit about the mask from the contract, and I will write in a benefit of you receiving 1,000 gold pieces.
I believe that is acceptable. I'm going to put my hands out, and then before we shake, I'm going to look at the rest of them and go, of course, my party members, you will assist me in this Jeffy situation, correct? I believe that was for the whole party, that stipulation.
and what's in it for us exactly?
We could have probably had him here by now, but except for these negotiations are
I
taking
agree.
so long.
I was going to just say, give us money for abducting this guy at this point, since we're clearly not getting the mask.
Yep.
You're making your own side bargain for becoming their protege.
Yeah. I'm gonna sort of take that into account and look at it and be like, I agree. I do believe that this is more of the patroness and protege negotiations at this point. Perhaps the Jaffe situation can be negotiated after my soul is taken away, and we can perhaps work out just a flat currency and.
Oh, no one is taking your soul, but of course the pact does put you into a specific agreement. And regarding the abduction of Jephias, that is of great sensitivity.
Mm-hmm.
Not something we'll simply offer out as though it was a bounty at the public square.
They're offering that as their payment for you getting this patron's power.
Mm.
So yeah, the contract's everything that we already discussed. You won't get the mask, but they'll give you 1,000 gold pieces straight up.
I think that gold should go to the
You'll
rest of the party.
even keep 1,000 credit with the Black Feather Coven.
Okay. If we did do the gold evenly, there's 5 of us, so that would be 200 gold pieces each.
Here's the thing: you're getting a patron pact out of this.
Yeah.
And then gold on top of it. Why not just split the gold 4 ways? That way you get the power that you want, that you're making this deal for, and then we're getting paid for helping you out.
Okay. Perhaps I could get at least 50. Sorry, this is a little bit out of game. Perhaps I could get at least 50 gold pieces out of it, and then you guys get the rest of the 950 split evenly. Or 20 gold pieces even.
It's against Noxiqual's nature to agree to this. I feel like, why should we risk ourselves, do this all secret when we get nothing, and then you're taking the gold as well?
That's fair.
You're basically getting all the power, you know?
That's fair.
So
fine. I'll let you guys have all the gold.
Honestly, the only reason Noxiqual wanted to do this to begin with was for the mask. If we're not getting the mask out of it,
we're not getting the mask.
Basically, you need to convince us why to do this job.
That's fair. I think the splitting just straight. You guys can have the gold. I think that's fair.
Unfortunately, I hate to be that guy.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Fucker.
All right, 250 each for us, and you'll get a bunch of power.
All right.
Very well.
By the way, before we do this, because Noxiqual and I have been talking a lot, is everyone else okay with this? Obviously,
Drake is not okay, and he's showing it. Just he's not liking this deal at all.
Noxiqual will get the job done because he knows he's capable of doing it, but he doesn't care for this deal. It's clearly something that you want, though.
I suppose that with that, and I'll put my hand out to shake.
She looks at your hand, and she places into it a black iron dagger.
Oh, I will gladly take it.
It's not a gift. It is to sign.
Oh, my blood. I'm gonna look at it and be like, do I have to like cut myself?
Oh my god.
You do not need to slash yourself open, just a small prick.
One question: does your patron deal with people not competent to make such deals?
I'm gonna sort of like put my finger up to him and be like, I'm okay, and then I'm just going to straight up slice my hand, like you would usually do, where you put it here and just slice through, and then I will sign my name in blood with my hand.
All right. They give you a quill.
Almost in the back about how under his breath about how they should dip their hands in etching acid after touching his blood.
As he says that, and I'm signing my name in blood, I'm gonna look at the matter. I'm gonna be like, and after I finish signing, I'm gonna say, I didn't have any issues before I came here, and slept with was it Rosie and sorry,
Impella.
So you know what? And as I'm signing, I would say, now that I am an ally and my everlasting soul is taken away by the patroness, perhaps you can help me with this situation that I've gotten myself into with Rosie and Impala.
Oh, don't worry. You will get much help. Wonderful help.
Exactly what you deserve.
Julia takes the dagger, and she just gives a little prick on her ring finger just to get a droplet, and just enough sufficient to sign her name. The witnesses there, they sign as well, and thus the compact is sealed.
And as that
There's a
happens,
sound like the rattling of chains that fills the air for a moment, and it just echoes into the ghostly nethers. There's a cawing sound, and Irtho flies onto your shoulder.
that's honestly all I wanted. I just wanted the raven. As those chains are rattling, the sound, I'm gonna look at Noxiqual and sort of like raise my eyebrow and be like, "What exactly have I gotten myself into?"
At least you were wise enough to listen to me when I said 6 years, set a escape clause.
I agree. And look, I got a nice raven. I'm gonna give the raven a little bit of a.
Now you only need to
opportunity
live
chat.
long enough to be able to escape.
Fair enough.
At this point, Robin, your speech kind of catches in your throat as you feel a tremendous sensation rushing through your body. It's as if you're being wrapped in burning chains, but not painful. In fact, it seems to like invigorate you and fill you with power. So the first thing that happens is you gain the ability to cast Eldritch Blast. And I think the way that this is going to look is it's actually like this like spectral chain that like whips out and strikes at the target. You can pick an additional Warlock cantrip of your choice and also pick a first level Warlock spell. You can do that once per day. Basically, you can cast it like normal, and then after you take a long rest, it's able to be used once again.
If I may make a suggestion, Hex is very good.
Okay, yeah. Out of game. Is it cool if I like decide on this sort of like after the session?
Take your time.
Okay,
Yeah, take your time.
I want to look through everything, and I want to actually talk to Warsor about it too, because I've never played a Warlock before, so
It's not hard.
You get your name registered in a scroll that they have there, noting that you have 1,000 gold pieces of credit in your name with the Black Feather Coven. As well, you are brought a purse of 1,000 gold pieces.
all right. I take I have the purse in my hand and look at it and look at everyone else. Be like, you could let me have all of this.
Drake at this point is going to step forward, place his hand on the bag,
No. Drake, leave it. If he wants to take it all himself, he can do the job himself.
This
You
one
make a-
understands.
You make a valid point, Noxiqual, and I'm gonna hand out the share to everyone.
It's much easier to convince someone with a little logic, I find, than simply bullying them into it.
Yeah, but I hand the gold out to everyone, and I want to hand the 250 to Noxiqual last. And as I hand it to Noxiqual, I'm gonna sort of like put my hands on his shoulder and be like, Noxiqual, we're like brothers now.
I reach up, put my hand over your hand. I say, I'm not sure any of my brothers are still alive.
I'm actually like at this
You
point.
just kind of grip your hand like painfully for a moment.
We're like brothers now. Oh yeah, brothers. Bam! Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
Yeah, as he does that, I actually am gonna have like a straight up like sort of like scared face to like everyone else and like trying to get like an idea of like he killed his like did he actually kill his brothers, guys? And I'm gonna be like, my hand.
Something happened that you noticed, Nox, when he gripped you. You caught this like faint whiff of sulfur in the back of your nostrils.
Oh, out of game. I know so much. Yeah.
What else are we missing? Yes, they tell you, please do not hesitate to consult with us about the ritual of power transference, if you so desire. You will have access to a whole world that you had never imagined before.
Let's get down to business. Where can we find this slick Jeffy?
Very well. You, Robin, receive a piece of parchment. It's wrapped up and it's sealed. Keep this secretive. Keep this secretive. Do not look at it until you are far removed from this premise. It is going to tell you the schedule that he keeps, where he frequents, and at what times he can typically be found, where he lives, his close family members. Everything that you need to understand and coordinate the particulars of his affairs are found within. If you have additional questions, just ask Irtho. He is a very, very good scout. He can help you. He can find out things that you may otherwise not have immediate access to yourself. Once you no longer need the instructions, burn them. Leave nothing left. Everything you need to know is on there.
Very well. The job will be done.
Lady Celia kisses you on the cheek and then the other cheek, and she says, "May our great queen be with you."
I'm gonna sort of bow very respectfully and be like, "She already is."
You start to bow. She actually grabs you by the chin and holds your head up, and she says, "We do not bow. You have no need for such things.
I sort of
Lift
stand
your
up,
head high in pride."
sort of stand up, and I'm gonna look very pridefully at Noxiqual, just sort of like looking at him like that, like.
Noxiqual's not going to show disrespect in here, but there will be a reckoning.
Yeah, Lykar gets up and he goes, "I respect you and I respect your powers," to the vampire clan here. And he's like, "But we may occasionally, from time to time, have to remind somebody of the ways things are done. Please do not hold a grudge."
We have heard tales of the mighty Stormbringers, and, well, we will do our utmost to avoid such friction. After all, we are now allies, and that brings us great joy.
Let's hope that going forward this remains the case. Let us deal with this slick Jeffy now.
He will be in your custody soon.
Oh, we very much look forward to that. And if you all traipse away off to the secret playground, we wish you all the best of success in ridding that place of whatever fell inhabitants lurk down there.
Is you want him good looking? Or is we allowed to ugly him up a bit?
Let's go. I need to roll some dice.
Please give him to us unbroken, unmarred, as good of condition as you can manage.
I make no promises of his condition, but he will be alive. May be necessary to render him unconscious.
Oh, you're talking about Joff. I thought you were talking about me.
You too.
Yes.
Irtho gives a caw.
Let's go.
I'm gonna sort of scratch him.
Let's go. So yeah, let's leave.
I agree.
Go on.
Let's head back to the tavern and get ourselves a private room and discuss quietly. Once Irtho has assured us that no one's listening.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the party returns back to Candle Lodge. Is that right?
Sounds good.
All right. The innkeep there greets you, and she said, "Well, I believe you're going to be staying here for a bit longer due to the weather. We'll be glad to continue providing you with warm, secure rooms and hot meals." She makes some notes on her ledger. She asks for 1 gold a piece per night. That's the rate you've already been paying.
So pay some more gold is what you're asking for right now?
Well, if you don't have the immediate available, I can put you down on a
Gold.
what do we call this? A sort of your tab,
I'll pay her.
your running tally.
I mean, it would be easier to just pay all at once at the end, but I can understand a night-to-night kind of thing.
However you want to do it, she's accommodating either way.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay. She calls over the serving boy, and it says to bring up some hot wine and some fresh loaves of bread with butter, and they've got some chickens and some vegetables roasting just right now.
Hey, once we're in the room privately with all of us, I actually sort of want to look at everyone with actual sort of sincerity and say,
by the way, as you're talking, everybody looking at him, you see black flames in his eyes. It's going to go away, but you've just immediately been hit by a rush of Warlock power. So you've got strange emanations coming off of you.
Yeah. So I am gonna look at everyone though, as sincere as possible with all this blackness around me. I say, all of you, I just want to tell you all of my appreciation for helping me with this job. This patron is something that I did want to do, but I do not think I could capture this slick Jeffy by myself. And I do consider all of you my friends, and I know it's not much as you just received 250 gold pieces, but let me offer some more. And I'm going to sort of give each of you 5 more gold pieces in sort of appreciation.
I couldn't take your money.
I'm going to say, I appreciate that, Noxiqual. Does anyone else not want my money?
So Robin shows his appreciation. What next? Are you looking at the instructions?
Yeah, I'll pull up.
I would like to see where he lives, especially with the storm out. It may prove advantageous to us to.
I was
maybe
going to say we've got some magic at our disposal.
Mm-hmm.
Nick,
okay.
Drake only takes 3 of the gold. He gives the other 2 back, telling you to get a cloak to yourself.
I sort of nod my head in appreciation and give you a wink.
Okay, so Slick Jeffy, or his actual name is Jeffinius Colwick. He lives in the Colwick Manor, in fact, a manor house. It would appear that his father is Red Colwick, the steward of the Laborers Guild. It's not a large town, so you have to just go, down one street, take a turn down another street, take one more turn, and it's just right there, according to the instructions here. The manor home has their family, a number of servants, a couple loud barking hound dogs, a few guardsmen. Nothing in it seems to strike you as particularly concerning, right, in terms of power level. Until you get to the very end of the notes there's a lot of notes about Jeffinius himself, the hours he keeps, where he usually frequents, etc. But at the very end of that, it does give a word of caution, as he does have a wild sorceress soul.
Okay.
Lykar, he's like you.
Very well.
Wild sorcerer.
This one, I have an idea how to deal with the dogs.
What is your plan, Drake?
This one's going to need to spend some gold. And this one may need a few toadstools if we have any still.
I'm gonna look and say, actually, did I give? I think I gave her everything, right? Or
you gave her the Umber Hulk parts and the Fade toadstools.
I look at Drake sort of like kind of sad, like, unfortunately, I kind of gave her all of my toadstools.
Drake nods and then goes, this one will then have to spend more to get what is needed. This one thinks we could drug or poison some raw meat and
So
bait. No.
he's always in the manor, or when's he outside?
No, I mean he works. There's a couple of there's a guild hall, the laborers guild hall that he frequents. But it has his typical routines that he keeps. The weather's pretty atrocious right now, so that might have him holed up at home unless, well, I'll let you all figure that out.
Yeah.
I believe I agree with Drake's plan.
Well, I mean, that's certainly possible if we were going to break in, yes. But, Lykar, tell me, do you have the ability to shape your magic without making gestures or words? Use a subtle spell.
Yeah, I have subtle spell and distance spell on my two.
Nice.
Perfect. I was thinking if we could perhaps use a little mind magic to get him alone using a subtle spell. We could then take him into custody quickly.
Do any of us have any mind magic?
I can fireball him.
I have
I'm gonna look at Lykar with like wide eyes. Lykar? That's not mind magic.
This one believes it is.
I have several spells.
It ends the mind.
I have several spells which are mind magical. Suggestion, hypnotic pattern.
Charm person.
I do not have that one, but if you
I
have
do.
that one, that
Oh,
would
you
be
have a charm
perfect.
person? That's like exactly what we need.
Yeah, we can just charm him and say, hey, we can make up some BS story. Come with us.
Come with you specifically.
Yeah, come with
Just
me.
Just
I
don't
would
roll low.
say lure him into a place where he will not be, seen.
If
and
he
then
has
we
hounds,
ambush him.
I should reckon that we could take him on a hunt, in a manner of speaking.
Or perhaps if he fancies a lady, I could make an illusion and he follows her into an alley.
Here's the thing. We need to be subtle. If there's anyone that witnesses any of us talking with him, trailing him, anything like that, it may come back.
Drake's gonna sit up at this point, place his hand on one of his rings, and twist it and change his form into Kivish.
Out of character, when I'm talking about taking him on a hunt as a hound, I mean polymorph him into a dog so we can just kind of walk out of there with him.
Like a little cheat code. Yeah.
Right?
I'm also like, as Drake is doing this, I want to look at Noxiqual. I'm the most subtle person in this party, let's be honest.
Now, out of character, if I charm, if I can charm him, and I say that, I don't know, would this work like his father wants to get rid of him? He thinks he's been doing a bad job. They're going to come up here and kill you. I can get you out of here. Dimension door. Would he willingly dimension door with me if he's charmed? I mean,
He does consider you his friend. That the whole story that you just said, I would not go with. That seems very dramatic.
well, I just
yeah.
right.
But no, I like it. Like if you can get him to dimension door with you, that's perfect. There's no way to
Yeah, that would
Dimension
make it
door.
definitely easier. The other option is Drake could, if it came to a fight, try to start lining stunning strikes on him.
I would just hold monster on him as well. Like
Yeah, I
we
mean,
all have ways of disabling him.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Yeah.
I mean, if we get him into an area where he's like, it's just him and us, I mean, Drake and I being rogues, like we can just do like immediate sneak attacks on him, do tons of damage, and then everyone else can attack as well.
I'm going to speak as Captain Noxiqual. I believe we need to separate this into two parts. One, getting him alone where we can enact whatever plan we have on him. That I think Lykar has the best chance. If anyone else has another idea of how to get him alone, just that bit, propose it.
Does the scrolls say anything about him like having like any like a wife or like a lover or something like that?
He is married. Yep.
Okay.
He's married and he has 2 children.
Okay, I'm gonna look at Noxiqual and go, so Noxiqual, I could perhaps do a silent image to lead him astray into Lykar, where he can then charm him, and then we could get him further away. Because we obviously, he doesn't know any of us. He probably would be suspicious if we just walked up to him. Or perhaps, and I look at Lykar and go, how do you look in a dress? I could. Oh wait, no. Never mind. I actually say I could disguise myself as well as his wife.
I think your silent image might be too prone to flaws, but I have a major image spell which might do the trick and can be adapted.
I could of course disguise myself as well. I sort of out of game. I have the spell disguise self, so I could appear as his wife and then get him out that way as well.
Jerry's going to shift back to his regular self with another twist of the ring.
Well, it seems that you all have some different tricks and different ideas.
I'm going to ask the Raven, what does he think is the best time that he would be vulnerable being abducted or taken off alone?
Why not get him when he's in the shitter?
Where is that?
In this house, his own privy.
Do you have a exact location that you can show?
No, but I can find it. You want me to?
You could do that, and that would give us a chance to plan around it.
I'm gonna
Okay.
look at it. I'm gonna say before you go, Raven, or Yothor, Noxiqual, I don't think it would be a good idea to go into his house to do this. I think we should get him out of his house.
I agree with this, but more information, even if we don't use it, at least makes use of this scout.
I have just had a realization that I forgot about. Drake and I met someone who was also looking for Jeffy.
Yeah, briefly you did.
Yeah. Drake just reminded me in the chat.
And who was that?
I don't remember.
When you all were trying to find a sort of thieves guild, you went to a seedy neighborhood, and there was a guy that was waiting for someone, and he barked from the upper window if you knew where Jeffy was.
Mm-hmm.
Drake's going to twist the ring and change into that guy.
Okay.
Just so everyone knows who they were speaking about when they ran into. Yeah, they ran into that was looking for Jeffy.
All right, so you now look like a gangle-toothed older man with long, sandy blonde hair.
You know, Drake, I think that look suits you quite well.
Drake gives the finger to Robin.
Anyways, I'm gonna look at Noxiqual and say, Noxiqual, you of course are a captain. I believe that you should decide, perhaps, or we can perhaps take a vote on the plan that we think is the best. Sorry, so like sort of out of game, I'm thinking we should probably take a vote on the plan, or have Noxiqual, our captain, decide, perhaps.
No, you're quiet. Warsor.
Where did he go? Oh my goodness, he didn't tell me he could just teleport like that.
Eartho gets a little bit antsy, kind of like prances one direction, then back another. He's like,
Come on, just say the word. I'll fly over there and tell you.
And I'm back.
Oh, Noxiqual, don't do that to me.
So, yes, about the plan. My thoughts are, I don't think it's a good idea for anyone to impersonate someone that we don't have a lot of information on. because it opens up a can of worms where you're going to find yourself with a back against the wall if you run into a situation, and the subtlety goes out the window as soon as someone realizes that someone's impersonating someone. Suspicion goes through the roof. I think keep it simple and just lure him away or jump him in the bathroom.
And especially someone we don't know very well, where we're likely to get things wrong, and people will be like, "Wait, what? When did your eye grow back?"
Exactly.
Like that.
So, as far as illusions and deception transformations, I think there's too little information. Yes, we could use the scout, but I think there's simpler, more expedient ways with the magic we have. Charm person, teleportation, beating the shit out of him when he comes out of the teleport.
How will we get him in an area where we can charm him though without anyone noticing?
Lykar, as he was saying earlier, has the ability to subtle spell.
Oh, that's right.
You could simply pass him by without any gestures or words of magic. Simply walk past him in the guild hall or wherever we can find him, which the Raven can keep an eye on him and tell us when he's going somewhere that we could, find him. And basically, once you've charmed him, then you can just kind of walk up to him and say, my friend, there's your wife needs you. She sent me to, bring you to her with my magic, of course, we're sorcerers, And so then you teleport him quickly. Before that happens, we should find out if he knows teleportation magic himself or any other magics that would make that plan completely useless.
Well, if he's a sorcerer, he would probably know that kind of magic at least exists.
Not necessarily. He may not be as strong a sorcerer as Lykar.
Does the scroll say anything about that? Because you said it had a lot of information, right?
Well,
the scroll describes him as a sorcerer with a wild soul and a sorcerer of mists.
Wild soul.
Too bad. Can we do something in the genre of possibly be friends and here, try this? This drink is really good. Well, drinks it nighty night.
That seems reasonable. It would still require you to be convincing, if you know what I mean. But you're a very convincing fellow.
I'm quite convincing myself.
I
Perhaps
still feel like polymorphing him when he least suspects it is a decent idea.
Let's do this. My concern about the drink is if anyone else is watching where you're at, until you get him away from there, I think you should try to get him alone and then teleport him away, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
So I think the plan so far is just get him into an area, charm him, sort of walk up to him casually, charm him, make him seem like you're friends, talk him up a bit, get him into a place that's alone while he's charmed, because he would do that, and then when you're alone, teleport him away.
Meet me out back. I have something that I want to show you.
Yeah. And I think even if he doesn't know what teleportation is, as long as he's the friend, it doesn't matter because he's already charmed.
Well, so long as he willingly goes with you, you have to.
Esper, I got a question out of character. The list, is it just about Jeffrey, or does it give information about his associates as well?
It does give some information about his family and some of his associates at the Laborers Guild. It doesn't go into detail about them and their lives and such, but more like
that's going to make it tougher then.
Their names, their relationship to him.
Because that's going to make it tougher. Because what Noxiqual, or technically Warsor is saying is Noxiqual, with charming them, we need to know exactly. If we're saying his wife, we need to have enough information about the wife that we can use an actual bluff information. Because, say, for example,
it would say basically name, wife, resides at Colwick Manor, stuff like that.
And sort of out again as well. as long as the charm works, the story doesn't have to be perfect. Because
But the problem is, depending on where we drop this, if he's got someone who's usually traveling with,
I've got a better idea. Instead of the wife, what about one of the kids? I know that's evil, but it's what it is. Say that one of his kids is in trouble and they need him, outside of town or whatever. Maybe a Fey, secret playground.
Does the document talk about like?
I was going to say he went to the well and he's at the well.
Yeah, we need we could even be like posing as ourselves in theory, like the child,
Yeah, I'm okay with that as well.
And maybe we could convince him that we're going to take on a job to get his kid back. I'm trying to think how best to do this. If we could just get him like in such a emotional state that he doesn't think for even like 30 seconds to where he comes with us, we should be able to overcome him.
Again, that I'm fine with. I'm worried about the outside influences, the third party groups, anyone that he might be traveling with that actually knows his family well enough. Does he have bodyguards? His best friends? Like, if there are any of those with him, they're going to know greater details about stuff that we're not going to be able to, and they're going to try to step in. We got to be able to deal with that.
Does the scroll talk about him having bodyguards or anything like that?
Yeah.
There are some house guards. They're a wealthy family, an aristocratic family.
Do they like come out with him when he walks around
town? He could order them to, but he doesn't have an abundance of guards. So imagine there's like a few house guards. So he would specifically say, so-and-so, come with me. Otherwise, they're not always orbiting him 24 hours a day.
Here's what I'm thinking. Sorry, this is a little bit out of the game. But here's what I'm thinking. Lykar, all he would have to do really is we don't even need to really have a good story. We could just have Lykar befriend him with charm.
Yeah, because it lasts an hour.
Yeah, like as long as they're friends, like the guy himself, like Jaffe, if any of his associates there ask him and are trying to figure things out, Jaffe himself will come up with reasons as to why they're friends. Like we don't actually have to have reasons because if he gets charmed, you see what I'm saying?
It's mainly just ask him to come with you alone so that you can discuss something in private.
Exactly.
Let's not go with the story about his son being kidnapped. Too many holes that could be poked at.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like friends. I want to discuss something in private. You get private. You teleport.
Say it's going to be very profitable for him. Like tell him like you've got the deal of West Country because he's a merchant guy. Like his family.
He's head of the Laborers Guild.
Yeah, the Laborers Guild.
Exactly.
He's head of the Laborers Guild. So
his father is.
His father.
Yeah, his father is the steward of the Laborers Guild. There are two other guilds that compose the town council here. There's the Traders Guild and the Scholars Guild.
Tell him that you've got a great opportunity. You want to discuss it in private, but right now it's like very, sensitive. So don't tell anyone about it. The deal could fall through. If anyone finds out about it, or someone could swoop in and snatch it.
Yeah. So you get him into a room, you teleport him to us, and then we just kill him. Well, capture him, should I say?
I think we'll all be ready with our best disabling thing. I will try to paralyze him, and Robin, you can just bash him over the head with your sneak attack for crit damage.
Yep.
Can't you do subduing damage instead of?
Yeah.
No, like if I can do the exact same amount of damage as I usually do, and I can just say that I am incapacitating them, not
subduing them.
Yeah,
they have that, don't they? Still,
they do.
5e. Okay.
You can always choose to not kill the person.
Let's enact the plan.
Yeah,
I mean, I
to let you know, Dennis, how it works is if you make a melee weapon attack on someone,
they're not trying,
and it would knock them to 0. Instead of it being like putting them into dying or killing them, you can instead choose to knock them out.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're still going to have to physically assault this guy quite a bit, but you don't have to kill him, assuming you're just like using a melee weapon.
So here's what I'm thinking: is that when he teleports, Drake and I both can do the sneak attack. at the same time because we both have the rogue, and then you and Card can also do something sort of right after we do
Well,
that.
Drake will try to stun him. I'll try to hold him just in case they don't work.
That's fair.
Uh,
And then,
Well,
you know,
once we
we'll go
attack
for them.
him, the charm's going to break.
yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
absolutely. I agree.
Okay, so
The
maybe
charm's not going to be enough to keep him locked down.
So I think Card should try and physically hold. You should try and magically hold. Drake should try and stun, and then I'll just do my sneak attack.
And I would suggest we do this outside town so there's no chance of a
course.
guard or anything.
So, real quickly with Drake's stunning stun attack, it's still a regular strike. I can just add it on at the end with a key point. And that
Yeah.
turns into a stunning strike.
All right,
Yeah.
So I'm still going to be doing that sneak attack damage or attack. I just, if it hits, I can go, oh, hey, I want to add a stunning strike to it.
Yeah.
And
So-
Carderock can smite if he wants to smite.
Now, quick thing. I think we have the plan set up, which is great. What if charm doesn't work?
Well, that's why it's subtle. He doesn't know that it was even cast, as far as I know.
Well, but if it doesn't charm say that if you cast it and they resist it, then they know.
Do they?
No, it says if you charm
When the
it, when it
spell
wears off, they know.
Oh, when it wears off.
when the
Okay, so
spell
no
wears
matter
off,
what. Okay.
The person suddenly realizes, whoa, what was that came over me? Yeah, they're aware that someone just messed with their
That's
mind.
fine. So I just wanted to
In
make
this
sure,
particular case, he won't have a chance
Yeah,
to
I
work.
was about to say there is a
I just
time
tried
where you know, but yeah, I guess it's afterward.
I just wanted to make sure that like if the charm spell didn't take effect, that the guy wouldn't be like, hey you, yeah you.
Sure. So, I mean, meta wise, if someone like subtle spells a charm and the target resists it, the target would probably feel something weird happening, but it's not really apparent what exactly that was.
I think we're good to do this then. Right?
Okay.
One last thing. Is there any way that the crow is going to be of help in this plan whatsoever?
Noxiqual, he's a raven. Come on, get it right.
Yeah, Crow is my poor cousin. You let me know what you want your boat to do.
Is there any? Because my dimension
Any
was
powers?
500 feet, right?
You want me to steal the key? I'll steal the key for you.
Key? What key?
Key to the house?
Oh, no, we're not going to go into his house. We can get him outside the house.
Because if we could find a spot where there's like a house nearby that no one's in, like an abandoned something or other, we could just zip into there real quick and.
Well,
guess.
I know I like Noxiqual's idea. I think we should take him out of the city.
Well,
My thought is he can't shout for guards if everything fails.
Well, here's
He's
what we can
outside.
do. Here's what we can do when we get him. So, like, just as an example, say it's a tavern where he goes into. Lykar charms him in the tavern, gets him into a private room, teleports him out of the tavern. Even if it doesn't get out of the city or the town, that's okay. He just teleports him out where it's just them, and then they just sort of like teleport into an alley, put a hood over him so no one knows who he is, and then they just walk out of the town.
Actually, now that I'm looking at Dimension Door is only 500 feet, so I don't know how big the town is.
Well, no,
well, that's what
why
I was saying.
that's
It's only 500. Well, he would walk with me if he thought I was
Yeah.
his friend, wouldn't he?
That's why I said teleport into like a nearby alley, which there probably will be, and then just put a hood over him so no one knows who he is, and then just walk out of town.
Yeah.
Just
In
let you
your-
know, with Charm Person, there's kind of two things you can look at. One is like the mechanical side, charm. What does that mean? It means the person won't attack you. The other side's like a role-playing side, and so they regard you as a friendly person, right? They have like a friendly disposition towards you. So it's not that you have like mind control and you like dominate his every action.
Yeah.
But he's like, oh yeah, how are you, man? Okay. He's gonna have that kind of way about him.
I trust Lykar to be able to come up with something on the spot.
Here, I have this really nice cloak. It's really cold out. Here, put this on. Put that hood up.
Yeah, I have this really cool thing I want to show you outside of the town.
Well, I'm just going to tell Lykar, emphasize the secrecy of this. He can't, if others know that he's meeting with this, faction, it could jeopardize this opportunity. So we need to put hoods up, go secretly, meet with him, you'll protect him. You'll take care of him. Like the both of you together, your powers are going to be enough to, be sure that everything goes smooth.
Okay.
I'm super stoked to see Lykar like do some role playing here with this guy.
Don't forget your advantage too.
Yeah, you have. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do this.
All right.
Where's the rest of us gonna stand outside the town, like
Guess-
at the well?
yeah.
I guess.
Like the closest point out of town near the.
Somewhere that's not near the gates, so that there are very few guards. Most guards don't patrol the wall. Like
Well, I'm assuming we could just go like in the forest or something, right?
that's too far. It's 500 feet.
Oh, you're right. Well, no, but he's gonna walk out. Remember, he's
Oh,
walking.
he's just gonna walk him out to. Well, he's gonna walk him to the edge of town, and then we'll be 500 feet outside town.
Yeah, exactly.
Teleport. Okay. Yeah. Let's set this up. We'll get everyone set. We need the crow to tell us when the chance to charm him would be.
Noxiqual.
Basically, that's what we need.
Noxiqual. I hate to interrupt you. He's a raven.
Yes.
Are you all trying to get this started right now in the middle of the blizzard?
I think that actually might be beneficial. The problem is he's going to
make
be
it harder for
stuck
him
in
to
his
move.
home. Yeah.
It would reduce witnesses.
We just need a reason to get him outside his manor. Otherwise, we have to go into the manor. Which
Well, the raven can get the key if we need to.
I'll
Okay.
get the key. Just let me know.
here's my concern: how many guards are between us and him in the manor? Is there a way that we can sneak him out of the manor without
Wait.
them seeing?
I mean, we could just wait. I mean, eventually. Well, maybe he won't leave.
Here's a thought. Now, this is just a proposal. Is charm person concentration or no?
I think it's concentration, isn't it?
Nope.
Really?
It is
1 hour.
not.
So it's not concentration. You could, if you're willing to use like a spell slot for it, make you both invisible to walk you out of the manor. Like you could get in, have your little charm, whatever going on, and then be like, look, I've got this opportunity. We need to go now. This is a great opportunity. You're gonna, put, you can sell it however you want.
Yeah,
Drop
I'm already.
the name.
Got,
Yeah.
I'm gonna. What's the
then-
name of this town again?
Ravenswold.
Ravenswalled, and the bigger town, the main town is.
The big capital city
Yeah.
is Sumnerfield.
Yeah, I'm going to tell him, hey, I got a thing that's coming up. It'll put us on equal footing with Sumner Field.
Damn, that sounds pretty good.
Let's
All right.
do this. Let's do it.
Ask him if he can cast the invisibility though, because that would be great. You can save your spell slots. Or if he, I'm just saying, if he has that,
All right, let's do this.
go for it.
Lykar, go knock on his door.
And Lykar, if shit goes wrong, teleport out of there to a predetermined location where the Raven will be waiting to send word to us.
Okay.
I just wanted to get that last bit out because I'm like, what's our contingency plan if everything goes sideways?
Wait.
Lykar dies.
We were just gonna let Lykar die, right? It was
Oh,
gonna be
the
okay.
contingency is hopefully Lykar gets out, the Raven warns us, plan is gone sideways, and we regroup.
Yep.
So Lykar, you're heading to the Colwick Manor home right now?
Well,
Are we doing it now?
Yeah.
is
let's
the
do
Raven
it.
able to get him the key and all that?
Wouldn't that be suspicious if he had the key?
Well, here's my thoughts. Either Lykar goes in like invisibly and like sneaks in, but like the Raven can find him a path in, I hope, right?
I'm gonna look at the Raven.
Well, either that or I could fly up to like a second story window or something.
I like to
Still need to
fly
get past the dogs.
at night while they sleep and take the key.
Oh, well, I mean, Lykar can fly too, so there's that.
All
But
right, so
I'm
let's.
small.
So the Raven can get the key. Lykar can get the key. Open the door. Use invisibility. Find Jeffy while he's sleeping or when he's like by himself. Use charm, teleport out, and then get out.
Yeah, but the dogs are still going to smell me.
Mm. Flying does eliminate that problem. You go right over the dogs.
Yeah, but I can't fly and be invisible at the same time.
I could cast
Agreed.
invisibility on you.
Yeah, one of us could cast it after you cast
Still
fly.
gonna smell them.
Yeah, you can cast fly, and then I can turn you invisible.
Well, how would they smell him if it's a snowstorm and he's up in the air?
You're
I mean, if I'm in the house,
yeah.
Oh, in the house? There are dogs in the house?
well, I
They're
guess
gonna
we're going to find out.
Dogs have some of the best sense of smell.
Okay.
Have you ever worked with a honey dog before, out of curiosity?
All right.
Yeah, I'm only doing this as an example because they're able to pick up even very subtle scents in brushes that would hide scent. So even in a snowstorm, they're going to be found. Mythbusters even did something with the escaped prisoner. It's almost impossible to get away. They would just start circling until they pick up the scent with a dog.
I feel like we're overthinking this.
I'm just pointing out that
There's
it's
no overthinking it when it comes to Esper. Lykar.
I honestly, I want to see this go off.
You're going to hear Esper going,
Yeah.
Lykar, you have died.
Wait, why don't we do this then? Why don't we do this? How about instead of just Lykar, like, well, I guess Noxiqual, you also have Dimension Door, so you could like sort of be bait for the dog.
I've got very limited castings.
But all you gotta do is do it once. Like 500 feet away, they're not gonna be able to get you.
Yeah.
Eartho whispers in your ear, Robin. He says,
You tell me what you want Eartho do. I get you the key. I give poison to the dogs to make them sleep. I can do many things.
I'm gonna look at everyone and be like, I have a proposition. Earthol can poison the dogs, put them to sleep, and get us the key.
I can get sleeping brew from Granny. Do you have money?
How much would this cost?
1,000.
God, I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, maybe the
200 gold.
maybe your new patron to help us will give us some sleeping spell. I'm sure it'd be worth a couple of sleeping potions for us to
You
grab
have
this dude.
credit with them now?
Oh yeah, I have 1,000 gold. I have 1,000 gold credit with them.
Oh,
Yeah, just use your
Adam, you got
credit.
anything you want to weigh in on with this?
Yeah, I'll
You've
do
been
that.
quiet
We'll do
this
that.
entire time.
We'll do
Yeah,
that.
I've been trying to think of like how if I might have a spell that might be useful, but again, the best one I can think of would just be probably polymorph.
I actually agree with you on that one. The polymorph would probably be the best way to get him out of town,
but I mean,
or heck, even just getting him into the den.
Wait, guys, let's just do this. I'll use my 1,000 gold credit, I guess. Well, it's 200 gold pieces though. I wanted to buy something.
Eartho says that tonight he'll go get the brew from Granny. He'll slip into the manor. He'll knock the dogs out with the brew. He'll steal the key. He'll come and like give you the key. The dogs are sleeping. It's not middle of the night. He's like,
Oh, it's a great plan. I love it.
All right, I'm just gonna look at everyone and say, we've been talking for a while. How about I'll use my 1,000 gold credit, 200 gold out of it, and Earthol will get the key, put him to sleep, and then Lykar, you go to work.
all right, let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
It's lock and load, people. Let's rock and roll.
All right, so now I have 800 gold credit.
Now, just out of curiosity, since I have the ranged spell, if I cast Dimension Door, would that extend my range on Dimension Door? I have that distance spell. I know it increases spell range, but I don't know if it increases like a Dimension Door range.
so I think Dimension Door has a range of touch. It's like
No,
yourself and
Once I actually teleport somebody, I have a range of 500 feet.
It actually says range under Dimension Door, 500 feet, not touch.
okay,
Right.
And that's called distance spell.
Yeah, distance spell.
Okay,
I
so
don't know
it'd be a 1,000 foot dimension door.
That's pretty good.
Oh, by the way, when Earthall goes, I want to ask him to like just use like as much as he needs because I'd like to keep some of the poison myself if possible.
Yeah, let's have the dogs wake up when Lykar is in the house.
No. Well, I'm telling him like use the amount needed to ensure that the dogs are asleep. But if there's any left over, I want it.
I'll do my best, but no promise.
All right.
All right, we're doing this.
All right, let's do it.
So you all bide your time until the deep of night.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I was just.
Isn't he gonna be sleeping with his wife?
Probably so.
You'll be fine. Don't worry.
All right. So you all wait until the deep of night. You send off Earthrow out the window, and you wait, and you wait some more, and after a good hour and a half has passed, you're maybe starting to feel a little drowsy. You hear the pecking, tapping at the door, at the shutters outside.
I will go open up the shutters.
Okay, Eartho, who's practically a snowball, kind of like flutters inside, gets all the snow off of him. It's still coming down out there. I mean, it's a blizzard by this point.
As I see that, I'm gonna look at Lykar and be like, "Have fun, Lykar."
Well, the snow doesn't bother me.
Wait, are you saying that the cold doesn't bother you anyway?
The snow doesn't because it doesn't hit me.
It's really deep.
All right. Well, Earthall, did you get the key and put the dogs to sleep?
He sets a key out on the floor. Nice big iron key with all sorts of intricate teeth on it and a nice tassel. He says,
Doggies are sleeping, but I had to use all the poison.
Oh well. I'm gonna pick up the key, hand it to Lykar, and then sort of like put my arm down so that like that Earthall can like climb back up on my shoulder.
yep. He hops back up there.
Got something to eat?
Actually,
Give him a
No,
cracker.
yeah, I was about to say I actually would have. I was gonna ask you. I didn't have a chance. I wanted to like buy like some like treats for him so I could like give him stuff every now and then.
Okay. He likes meat. That's his favorite. Any kind of meat.
All right, I guess I'll just like give him some like just like chicken meat.
Pork loin or something.
Yeah,
Chicken.
All right. So he gulps it down.
You want me to go with Lykar?
I'm gonna
Maybe
look at
keep an
Lykar.
eye on Lykar so he can fly back in case Lykar.
Well, I'm gonna look. I'm gonna say, well, no, actually, Ithel, you need to be in a specified location, just in case things go wrong for Lykar. So, and I believe that we've decided where that's gonna be. I'm guessing.
Where you want me to be?
I'm not sure exactly. Just like somewhere, like because what Noxiqual was saying, where like if something goes wrong, that's where Lykar is going to Dimension Door, and then the Raven's gonna come to us and tell us that it went wrong. I guess like in an alley or something, I would assume. Like somewhere nearby where you can Dimension Door to, but it's also like in cover.
You want me follow him? Invisible?
That would work. Are you sure that you won't get caught, even if Lykar gets caught? I wouldn't want anything bad to happen to you.
I want nothing bad to happen, but I'll go if you want. Look what I can do.
He like does this little like fluttery spin thing and just vanishes. But you hear his voice.
See? I can hide. Thin air.
I'm gonna look at him. I'm gonna say, all right, Ethel, you can go with Lykar, but if anything goes wrong, you get out of there. I don't want you to get hurt now.
Yes, and he needs to be quiet.
Yes, do not give Lykar's position away. And if anything goes wrong, make sure you get out and come warn us of this.
Okay.
What can go wrong, right?
Okay.
I'll start rolling my new character.
All right.
Okay, so
Lykar,
we're gonna get his.
do you fly? The snow is really deep.
Yeah, that would.
Yeah, you like peer down from your window. There's like at least 3 feet of snow. The drifts are like over a man's head.
You can fly. That was part of the plan anyway.
Yeah, I can fly. It's not the problem. How are you guys going to get to where you guys need to be?
I trust Drake can get himself there.
Drake back in his original, his actual form.
I think all of us can probably get there.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we can just go to the wall. I can teleport myself and one other person across. And then
Can Lycar's fly affect two people?
that's a good question.
If I cast that at a higher level.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have the slot to spare?
Well, I have all my slots, so I have plenty of slots.
And
So is
wrap
it like
after-
every rank higher that you upcast, you can affect one more person? I think
Right.
that's how it works.
So if I cast it as a 4th rank spell, I could have 2 people fly.
All right, so yourself and one person flies. Nox
I can-
takes one person, and then Drake teleports from rooftop to rooftop.
That work. Yeah, it just works. Let's do it.
Yeah, beat you all there.
We,
I guess-
And you all are the party. Sans Lykar is posting up outside of town.
and Lykar knows the location, so he can teleport there. He flew overhead and saw us before.
Okay, you want like a little
Well,
hill
yeah, we-
behind a farmhouse, like behind a tree.
Are you
Oh,
asking which? Or
Yeah.
Ideally, is the farmhouse occupied?
Yes.
Then I would
Never mind that.
assume that like a tree would be better or
Do
something.
they have like a barn or something?
Yep.
That wouldn't be occupied.
Okay.
There'd be animals.
If they walk by, they're like, "Whoa, what's going on here?"
Well, not if you guys are just in there being quiet in the barn in the middle of the night.
Okay, we'll
The
go
barn-
into the barn.
Like a good idea, right? Because
Yeah.
otherwise you're just gonna land like in giant deep snow.
All right, let's go to the barn. Let's do that.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, so the party is posted up in a barn that has like donkeys, horse, pigs, sheep, and a bunch of hay. And it's pretty cold, but yeah, you're in a barn. I
I'm gonna look at.
wish you guys could see the chat that they're all having here on the Hangout.
I'm gonna look at everyone. I'm gonna say, guys, I didn't expect to be in a bond after joining a pirate crew that has a boat that usually sails on the water.
Lykar, who did you give the flight to?
Whoever needed it.
That would have been
Either
Carderock. How about Carderock?
I mean, won't
Okay.
it just go away after he casts invisibility?
it doesn't really matter who gets it, right? Because we're
Oh.
all gonna go to the
Well,
barn.
I can actually. Well, hopefully we would have this, like the location planned out ahead of time. We're not just doing this
Exactly. Yeah.
on the fly,
That's fair.
You plan for it all day long, so as much as you could plan.
Because then I can cast fly on him and he can go fly off, and that way I don't have to burn a 4th level spell slot, and I can just wait a little while.
All right. Well, I think that's fine.
But what are you going to do about the deep snow that's covered the whole town?
I haven't left yet. I can just cast fly on him, and they can go to where they need to be, and then I can just wait.
Yeah.
And then I can cast. Oh, how am I going to be invisible?
I got that.
Oh, how are you going to get there?
No, I'm just gonna turn. It's a concentration for an hour.
So what he's saying is,
Yeah.
you cast fly, concentrate on fly. He casts invisibility on you.
Mm-hmm.
While you're still concentrating on fly. Concentrating doesn't break invisibility. Casting a spell breaks invisibility.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And also,
Okay, so Lykar and Card are flying, and then Robin puts invisibility on Lykar, and then Card flies out the window. Nox and Robin dimension door, and Drake goes teleporting rooftop to rooftop.
shadow stepping all the way.
Party ends up in the barn, except for Lykar, who's flying and invisible, along with Irtho, who's flying and invisible.
Oh golly! All right.
does anyone get the itching feeling that something is about to go terribly, terribly wrong?
This one does whenever this one's around you.
Let's go, Lykar. Just follow the sound of my voice.
Yeah.
So You go soaring out the window of the inn into the falling snow, which probably is a pretty interesting effect. If one was to look, there's like this strange shape of snow repelling field.
It's like a globe of snow repelling because it's like a 10-foot diameter thing.
In air, like in a cloud, something puffing its way through the air. You can follow the sound of Irtho's wings flapping, and he'll like make little squawks at you here and there, just a pure animal type noise. You essentially all you have to do is just like fly over 2 rows of houses, and you're now like hovering above Colwick Manor. It is a tall 3-story building. There's a couple chimneys that have smoke puffing out of them. There is like a wall, like a stone protection wall around the house and their grounds. Stone building for the most part. There's a big front door. There is a back door. Irtho says,
All right, I'm right behind you.
I said, is the key to the front door or the back door?
Front door.
Okay. Do you know where Slick Jeffy is? What room?
Yep, he's on the 2nd story in his room.
Front or back of the house?
It's in the back of the house.
I wonder if I could just fly up to the window. No, I can't cast charm because I'll lose my invisibility. Okay.
That might scare him. A man flying at his window in the middle of the night.
This is terrible.
Isn't he an invisible man?
It's like an invisible shape in this like not pouring, but like blizzard snowstorm at his window. Hey man, come on out here.
Okay. All right.
Come on.
All right, I'm gonna. Oh, I go to what did he say was the back door?
Front door.
Okay, go being as quiet as I can.
Slide your way down to the front door. Slide the key in. And snow is blowing inside the foyer. Irtho, shut the door.
All right, well, if there's nobody there, we'll shut the door.
I hate to be that guy. His bubble prevents the snow from going past him.
That's true. You get this door shut. Actually, pretty. The door itself, like, is very well made. You don't have to like yank on her to do any weird jimmying. You just shut it as quickly as you get back inside. You can relock it if you'd like.
Well, I'm gonna like hover because I don't want to, and I'm gonna scan the area as best I can, make sure I don't like knock a vase over, or so that way I don't make any creaky sounds stepping on the floorboards.
All right. So you're just like hovering, controlling yourself pretty adeptly. You've used fly spells many times throughout your sorceress life. So you're in a pretty well-appointed aristocratic manor. There is a hearth. The flames are roaring. There's some kind of servant who is snoozing near the hearth, and you hear him kind of like, mumble to himself a little bit. Looks like he's the one who has to, tend to the fireplace. There are 2 hound dogs sleeping on this bearskin rug in front of the hearth as well. Their tongues are hanging out, and they're just like. Otherwise, all is quiet inside the Colwick Manor.
Okay.
It's upstairs. You'll see the hallway. Second door on the left.
Quietly is like, well, I guess flying doesn't really make any noise, and try not to bump into anything.
Okay. Yeah, you get your way up the stairwell. You see on the walls there are some oil paintings of some generations of the family. There's also some crests and some placards of the Laborers Guild. It seems like their family has been involved in this, across generations, lineage spanning back many generation.
That is door second to the left.
You are in front of Jeffinius's door.
Okay, well, I guess. Golly, I guess we're just going to try and stand to the side as much as I can, and I don't suppose I could see him through the keyhole, could I?
You look through the keyhole, and you see the foot of a bed, and you see 2 pairs of feet.
All right. I guess I would need to see more of him to cast the spell.
Not really.
Oh.
Can you cast a spell through a keyhole? Well, let's see if the keyhole's big enough. Sure. It's a pretty big-sized keyhole. You feel confident you can get your spell through that at him.
All right.
I think it's the bigger feet.
All right, well, I guess we'll try and cast Charm Person.
All right. You put Charm Person on the
With
sleeping...
subtly.
On the sleeping figure in the bed.
Do I have to roll?
I had to roll for
He
the
has-
NPC, which was a wisdom saving throw.
He has to beat your DC.
So, well, he's still sleeping. It doesn't rouse him, but you can feel that the spell has taken effect on him. You also become visible. No, you don't actually. It was. Oh yeah, right. When you cast a spell, you come out of invisibility. Yeah. Okay. All right. So you are now floating a few inches off the ground in front of his door. He's asleep, but he is charmed by you.
How am I going to get him out of bed?
You want me to wake him up?
Well, we're not going to have all day here, so I guess we'll try and open the door very quietly and kind of stand off to the side and
Okay.
crack
The door handle does not turn.
Door's locked. I get it open.
You hear a strange sound, and then there's like a little skittering across the floor. Now it seems to have gone inside the room. Then there's the sound of a key turning, and the door opens. The figures in the bed, they kind of shuffle, they kind of roll a little bit, but no one wakes up. The door just swings open.
Okay.
Maybe the bird should go wake him up, because if the girl wakes up and I'm standing there, she's going to scream.
You want me to wake him up gently or scary? What you want?
Quietly.
Quiet? Okay. Hey, Jeffy, wake up!
Huh? What is the meaning of this? He rolls over in bed. It's very dim in the room. There's there probably wouldn't even be an oil lamp burning at this cold of winter. It's just dim in the room. Candle. There is a beeswax candle burning, so that's the only illumination. So it's like a dim illumination, and a little bit of pool of gold from the candle burning. What? Who's there? Who is that?
Like Jeff.
What? What is this? He sits up in bed and grabs the candle.
Jeff, come here.
Garfield, is that you?
Oh, it's your old friend. I got something to tell you. It's so important. I can't wait. Shh.
Garfield, you're pulling my leg. What is this?
Shh. Quiet. Come here.
He steps gingerly across the room, wearing like his night clothes, wraps a fur around himself, holding his candle, comes up to you at the door. You're not Garfield? What are you doing here?
Don't you remember me?
He is a bearded man, brownish red hair, bit pudgy, a bit on the tall side as well. Squints at you. No, I feel like I know you.
Yeah, we used to do business together. Was he in the Laborers Guild, right?
Yeah.
For the Laborers Guild, I just got wind of a deal. If we can get in on it, it'll put us on par with Sumnerfield. I just need a minute of your time, please.
Wow. Sumnerfield. I've had my eye on that for years.
Yeah.
Remind me your name.
Yeah, my name is, make something up. Golly, I don't want to use my name because when he comes out of it, if it fails, the whole town will be looking for Lykar. How about, my cousin's name, Agmar. I know Agmar.
I was hoping you were going to say Kibbage.
No.
Kivitch's name is spread far and
The
wide.
two running jokes. Whenever you speak in a different language, you tell someone open up.
like one day,
I didn't think of that. I just thought of, all right, so anyway. Hey,
one day we're gonna find Kivish in like a jail cell, and he's gonna be like, I don't know how I got here, but they thought I did all these crimes.
I was walking in the swamp one day, and I was looking at the beautiful leaves, and the sun was shining down in about 45 minutes, and then they came and arrested me.
Agmar. Your father, he had that winery just outside of Grenadoa, right?
Yeah, that was my father-in-law.
So he seems to be like grasping for recollections, and he seems to be thinking that you're someone that you're not. But you're rolling with it. And
Okay.
so he follows you out of the room, and he's like, God, did you just get into Ravenswold at this hour?
Yes, just last night. Look, we have something. I have this guy. He's going to cut us in on this deal, and we're going to we can be on par with Sumnerfield and really put us on the map. Imagine what this is going to do for you and your family.
It's about time. It's about time.
I'm tired of them in Sumnerfield, people getting all the glory anyway.
Yes, I hear that. And
I just need 5 minutes of your time. Do you think you can come with me for 5 minutes?
Well, you've come all this way. I couldn't say no to that. And yes, it's time that this town gets the respect it deserves. It's time my family gets the respect it deserves.
All right.
The damn Ishkas have been, I swear, poisoning the well of this city for years now.
Yeah. Well, no more of that. Tomorrow you will wake up a very happy man.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear that.
Very well.
Have you spoken with anyone since you got here?
Oh, I cannot, because if anybody finds out, the gentleman who's doing the deal, he's going to bail, and he's going to go with Sumnerfield, and it'll make them even more prominent. And it'll relegate this town to even more backwater.
Oh, yes, well, we've been trying to take this town back for a long time now.
Very well.
I'm afraid Ravenswold is in a very desperate time, but we're doing what we can.
Right. So we just need to go meet this guy really quick.
Who is it?
He is an emissary of the Silver Citadel who wants to open up a trade route.
Silver Citadel.
Isn't that what it's called? The Silver Citadel?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, God. Have they gotten wind of what's been happening with the children?
Yes.
Well, we're doing all we can to get them out of the hands of those damn infernals to somewhere safe.
Okay, well, so are you with me, or should I just go back?
Oh, let me put on some boots and some more furs.
There's no time.
This is bitter weather.
Yes, there's no time.
I'll catch my death out there, man. Just
You
give me
will.
a moment. You look down at me. He has no shoes on.
All right, please be extremely brief and be quiet.
Okay.
If anybody wakes up, I will not be here when you come back.
So, just to let you know, I've already rolled one insight for this guy. Yep. And so that's what's happening. It was the result of that. So we'll keep letting that ride until the stakes bump up a little bit, right? Some new things might have him roll again. So he comes back to you. He threw on, some clothes, a heavy coat with a hood. He put his boots on. He's got these fur-lined boots. He put his gloves on, wraps a scarf around his face. Okay.
It'll only take a minute. I will fly us there.
Silver Citadel. Wow. I wonder if Mistress Jaina is with them. They might be the ones that are making those shoes.
That name rings a bell. Okay, here we go. I'm going to cast Fly subtly.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm going to drag him with me. And
you're putting Fly on him as well?
Yep.
Is that what you're doing? Okay, so you put a 4th rank flight.
Yep.
Whoa.
Shh. Subtly, I did it. So, out the door we go. And we're going to go. He's in the barn outside of town.
Okay. You are a man after my own heart, Agmar.
I just asked for a
I've often considered learning this spell, developing its power.
Yes. I just want a small piece of the pie, and you can have the rest. I'm content with little.
Oh, well, you'll get what you deserve, and by the sound of it, you'll deserve quite a bit.
Yes, the Silver Citadel. I cannot wait.
All right, so
off we go.
So you fly out of the manor into the night, into the winter storm, and he says, "Okay, you lead the way then, Agmar."
Well, I'm going to have him fly next to me. It's that way he's in my little bubble, and we'll fly off to the barn.
This isn't so bad. What a wonderful effect you've got.
Yes. Comes in handy from time to time.
Are you one born of storm power?
It runs in my family, yes.
It's incredible.
Maybe I can teach you.
I would be happy to learn. I've tried.
It's not hard.
I've yet to master things such as wind.
A few subtleties.
But the mists, the mists, that I know. So you all, the 4 of you, are waiting in this barn with all these animals. Smells a bit funky in there, but whatever. Actually, yeah, the animals. Does anyone have animal handling? They're a little bit.
Drake does.
Yeah, they're a little on edge with all these strangers in there.
All right, and Drake's gonna kind of go around trying to calm them down.
Okay, make an animal handling check.
Nat 1.
So the 2 of you flying arrive into a barn that has like donkeys braying and pigs like.
I think it's in the middle of a snowstorm.
Yeah. Luckily, there's a lot of noise from wind and stuff.
I'm gonna look at Drake and be like, "What did you do? Did you like slap one of them or something?"
So, Japhinius takes a look at this barn, foul smelling, with all these animals, like obviously very nervous. And he says, "What a great distraction to have it out."
Yeah, my contact is very secretive. If anybody knows, he's going to bail. This is a once in a lifetime shot.
I never would have considered this.
Well, nobody knows we're here.
So I guess as that happens,
Oh my god.
we all just drop on him.
He sees our emissaries of the Silver Citadel. I'm honored. Is Mistress Jaina in your league with you?
As he says, I'm going to be like, yes, she is. We're quite honored to be here. And then I'm going to attack him.
So I cast my spell Hold Person as soon as he gets in.
Yeah.
Right,
Drake's
we're all
trying to-
attacking. And I'm assuming this is advantage because it's like sneak attack.
Sneak attack!
Yeah.
Yeah, we all prepared.
Hi, it's nice to meet you.
I'm assuming
Right in the throat.
I'm assuming we hit him.
Can I see if he makes the hold monster, because that will affect their
Okay,
stuff
so
a
first,
lot.
let's check a wisdom saving throw against
DC
the
18 now.
19.
Oh, he just made it.
Now, would Drake and I get advantage on this attack since he had no idea like that we were doing this?
Generally, well, wait, surprised?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like it's a surprise type thing.
Yeah. I would say he's surprised because he got tricked so badly. He wasn't expecting this to be an attack. So go ahead and make attacks with advantage.
Yeah. Oh, good thing I got advantage because my first one was a 2.
Yeah. This is not my best roll.
Make sure you're speaking to your mic, Nick.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
I got 17.
Since I had prepared this, I'm gonna just be using my rapier because it does a bit more damage.
Okay.
So and I just add my dex, so that's a 20.
17 for my attack.
Yep, they are both hits.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Then add a stunning strike.
Stunning strike. Okay.
Needs him to fail this.
Oh, actually, you know what?
Constitution save of 18.
He succeeds. All right. I'm gonna do a follow-up strike.
You know, I didn't even think of this, but I'd probably be using. Hold on.
Just sneak attack. Everyone get your best damage in.
I know.
Yeah, I'm dropping the fly spell too.
I think I have.
I can't fly away.
Yeah, I think I have something that gives me a little bit more damage here. 1 second.
Well, I'm gonna roll least damage as well, so that way I have it taken care of.
Yeah. I mean, so long as you hit him, yeah.
Shoot. I gotta double check something. Another D6.
He used all his good luck on the saving throws.
I have a spell that would give me 2d8s, but it's only 1 extra, so I'm not gonna worry about that.
Okay. Well, for mine, he took 13 points of damage.
Okay.
Mine he took 21.
And then Drake's gonna, when he sees that stunning strike didn't work, he's gonna immediately lash back out with another hit.
Okay, I'm immediately gonna attack
You
again
said
too.
21 damage from Robin.
Yep. So if he's not down already, like getting knocked out, I'm gonna go in
Those
again.
hits like seriously hurt him, but it doesn't knock him down. Oh, what is this? Oh!
Another 17 from Drake. And then he's going to spend another key point to try to get another stunning strike.
And I got a 15.
19 Constitution save.
Jeez.
Oh, I'm sorry. By the way, my last attack, it wasn't 20, it was 26. I forgot to add my dex to it.
Oof.
Oh, my
Okay.
bad.
All right. So
And does 15 hit, Esper?
I think Drake's actually knocking him out right now.
yeah, 9.
Yeah. So
Okay,
Drake,
so he's going to do a open palm strike to the temple.
all right. Your palm strikes him, and he just falls, just knocked out cold on the ground. Carderock doesn't even have to bother himself to make a single swipe.
I'm just gonna like have my sword like going for him, and then when I see him get knocked out, I'm just gonna be like, that was easy.
Okay, now we have this guy in his body here. Now how are we gonna get him to where we gotta go?
Just imagining like 5 guys just beating up this guy, like they jump him and just Punching
He's from Office Space, and he's the printer.
So what
I just kind of stood back and I'm like, okay.
I'm gonna sort of like lift him up a little bit, like holding him like from behind, be like, well, as for getting him back, what I was thinking is that Lykar, you turn him invisible, and then Card, I'm gonna like hand the body over to you, Card. You carry him into town while he's invisible, and no one will know.
I mean,
Well, I dare say that should work.
I could dimension if he's invisible. I could dimension Doris back in so it doesn't look suspicious.
Yeah, we could do that as well.
Can you dimension door somebody who's unconscious?
Esper,
I mean, they're not
Esper will-
willing, but they're not unwilling.
There's Esper's rolling.
So you all are you're getting him situated, right, to transport him in whatever fashion that you think would be best. And as you do, you notice a little slip, a little parchment tucked within the pocket of his coat that he had hastily put on.
Oh, I want to
And
look
as
at
it
it.
falls out and you look at it, you see it is a letter that he has not finished writing yet, but it is detailing the number of children that and the names that have, quote, been rescued from those infernal clutches of that damned fiend Glaciah and taken to the secret sanctuary where they will be safe.
As I'm
And we
reading
will
that,
end there. Dun, 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 dun.
That's
wait,
fair.
I want to say one thing before we leave. As we're all reading that, I'm just gonna sort of like look at Noxiqual, like as we ended.
Well, here's my thought though. He said that they rescued them and took them to the secret playground. So
It seems to indicate something like that. The letter's unfinished and it doesn't specify how the kids got there.
Oh,
But there
no.
seems
I just want to make sure I'm not getting the factions mixed up. Glaciah stole the kids, but they rescued them from Glaciah and took them to the playground. Is what?
No. I think Glaciah rescued the kids, and then they took them from Glaciah.
the
Yeah.
letter. It doesn't say specifically how it happened, but it seems like children were either literally kidnapped or held against their will or corrupted or something by the damned fiend Glaciah and her minions.
Yep.
And they have been rescued and hidden away in the safe place.
Did I just show my soul to like a demon that captures kids?
You basically, I'm not gonna say, but yeah, I know what you did, and you done fucked.
Hey, at least I have Eldritch Blast now.
Oh yeah, Eldritch Blast. Yeah.
All right. So I want to thank everybody who's been following with us on the stream. Happy Easter. What else? Oh, yes. We're going to do you guys want to try that poll once again?
Yeah, let's try it one more time.
Sure.
I'm going to put a link to a poll now. I should do it now, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So somebody say something entertaining while I get this put together real quick.
Entertaining.
Something
All right,
entertaining.
so Warsor, how are we going to kill that bird?
No,
Well-
my bird. No, I will fight. I will fight for my bird. I like that
I was
bird.
thinking, once we get outside the town, I call the masked one to appear and just like chomp it.
I like that. I was thinking if Drake's would whisper to his to attack it and just keep constantly attacking. I looked at the stats for a Raven. They're not that great. My Falcon's going to
Yeah.
kill it.
But this is
It's not actually a
I was
raven.
about to say, it's not actually a raven. I think it's a little bit better than your falcon.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I'm pretty sure you could still take it in a fight, though.
I don't
Oh,
think.
yeah.
I don't think you guys should get rid of the raven. Though. I mean,
Somebody in the chat says the animals are all witnesses. Better kill them all now.
Yeah, I laughed really hard when they said
the raven's going to be super useful though because it listens to my commands. So
well. We'll see. It listens to your commands that it wants to follow. So
no, it was specified that it listens to my commands as long as it doesn't like go against like the patron or something.
sure.
Well, I got it in writing. My blood writing.
But here's the thing. Did the bird sign the contract?
No, but it's part of the contract.
So therefore, it's not part of the contract. So therefore,
no,
you can,
no, I don't
Ye-
know contract.
no, because here's the thing. If the bird didn't sign the contract, it's not held up to that contract.
Hasn't done
I
anything
just
bad
want
for us
to
yet.
take a moment to say, Lykar, damn fine job. Like, that plan
Yeah.
had so many places it could have gone, and you just kept it simple, straightforward, and just kept bluffing the shit out of him.
I honestly feel really bad. He didn't seem like too bad of a guy.
I mean, honestly, I think you're siding with the evil side here,
I guess we'll
and
find
not
out.
even getting a magic item out of it.
Hey, I got.
I have a feeling we're
I got
about to go into
these-
war with these vampires.
Well, I mean, yeah, if we look at it this way, worst case, we just burn them all down, take that mask.
Exactly. Hey, and if that happens, I can be the inside man.
Sweet.
Really,
So
sweet.
Esper just posted the straw poll.
Okay.
Awesome.
Both in the chat and also as a comment on this video, I've got a link for the poll. You all can vote on who you think deserves to receive inspiration for the next session. So go
Esper, you left out a certain someone on this poll.
Oh gosh, did I really?
Who's
Yes.
missing?
Who did you leave out?
I don't know. You're not that important.
Oh my god.
There will be
Okay.
a character that was pretty, big in this session.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I don't see it in the Discord.
He left out Card again.
No, card's not on there.
Well,
It's
no,
a
just
problem.
leave Rob. But then again, that's not a big loss.
Hey,
I was looking to place my vote, and I was like, wait, something's missing here.
Okay. So we got Lykar, Sorcerer, Noxiqual, Warlock.
I don't see.
Robin. Arcane Trickster.
I don't see the post on the Discord, or did you just?
It's not on the Discord. It's in the chat of
Thank you.
YouTube.
On YouTube.
Carderock. Knight. Okay. I beg your pardon humbly, and I'm going to repost the link in the chat, and I'm going to edit my comment on the video. There we go. All right. So please follow that second link or the one on the video comment, which I've just edited to be correct. You can vote on who will receive inspiration for the next stream.
I will forgive you, Esper, if you give me a free level.
I will give you a free level of commoner. Thanks, everybody, and thanks to you guys as well. Another great session.
A lot of fun.
Good night,
Okay.
everyone. Thank you for tuning in.
I'll see you all on the next one, and happy Easter, everyone.
Have a good